Glaze is a powerful thing, and it spreads like a virus. To some people, it's like a drug almost, where they can't help but just spread it. And what you find to be glaze-worthy, I might not, and vice versa, but I'm something of a glaze epidemiologist, where once something starts to spiral, I start to study and try and sink my teeth into it to find out, does it deserve this level of adoration? And such is the case with an anime that just premiered called Sentenced to be a Hero. I'd never heard of it before, but seemingly out of nowhere, tons of people gushing grannies over it. I've even seen some people say that this will be the biggest anime of the season, which is big boy words. That's beefier than this fart. Don't know if the mic picked it up. That one was just a bunch of air. The hair was a silencer on that one. Not a lot of bass there. Point is, this is a stacked season for anime. Some huge names are coming in for a new season that people are extremely excited for. But right now, all eyes and all attention are on Sentenced to be a Hero. Now, granted, it has started before a lot of the other ones, but it has a huge 9.1 rating as of me making this video, so of course, I had to check it out. Does it live up to the hype? Now, there's only one episode of it right now, but it's an hour long, which I really appreciate it. I think that's always pretty special. To me, that shows like a level of confidence in the show that they believe it's going to be a spectacle, and we're coming out, the gloves are off. So it's 1 hour premiere here for Sentenced to be a Hero, and let me tell you, wow, is it impressive. Like, the visuals in this are incredible. I saw that was a lot of people's big point is how great the action is in Sentenced to be a Hero. They weren't lying. It is constant action throughout this hour, and it is animated beautifully. It goes fucking hard, and I love that our main character, Xylo's power, isn't the standard, super strength kind of thing. He uses sacred seals. One of them lets him fly, and the main one you see him using for combat is he imbues swords with fire and light, which cause them to explode. So he throws swords that blow up on impact, and he uses it to kill demons. In this show, they're called fairies. They're controlled by a demon lord. It is extremely hype. This premiere felt like I was watching the finale to an anime season. This was almost anime movie level quality for this hour. I was very, very, very impressed. They were definitely right when it came to the hype around the action and the animation. It was extremely good. Now, I also was pretty interested in the world they build here. Hero shows are a dime a dozen. That's the main thing. Even outside of anime, everything is geared towards hero type content. So immediately the name Sentenced to be a Hero, I thought, okay, it'll probably be a pretty generic hero anime, which is fine as long as, it's cool. They do give it a different spin. So in this universe, being a hero is the worst thing you can be. It's a crime. Rather, it is the biggest possible punishment for criminals. When people see a hero like Xylo, they're not excited. They're angry, they're upset, because they know that the reason he is a hero is because he was sentenced to be one, meaning he is the lowest of the low. He is a piece of shit that took a shit. If you are punished, the worst imaginable punishment in that world is being sentenced to be a hero, which gives you basically immortality, where even if you do die on hero duty, they drag your soul back from hell in order to make you be a hero again, so you're constantly being fundamentally tortured on the front lines fighting for the rest of the people around you. So it's not a noble position, it's the worst position, which is an interesting spin on it. And also, they introduce goddesses, which are these weapons that are utilized by the knights. However, in episode 1, our hero, Xylo, makes a pact with a goddess, and they are fundamentally the most powerful weapon against the fairies / the demon lords. It's a really interesting spin off of tropes in the anime hero genre, and I'm very curious to see where it goes. That being said, it's very simple so far. We're only an hour in. Our main character, he was betrayed, and his crime seems to have all been a setup, and now he's forced to endure this eternal punishment for it, where he is viewed as the ultimate evil. And of course, there's other heroes around him, and now he has a new goddess that he has made a pact with, and they will be fighting fairies and demon lords, presumably for the rest of the season. So while it's not extremely deep right now, I could never expect it to be after just one episode, 1 hour long, but it is enough to get me hooked on the show, and I want to see it through for sure. Like, the action was incredible, the animation was amazing, and I do think the narrative is interesting enough and different enough from the others in there that it feels fresh. Overall, I really liked it. I definitely understand why there's so much hype around it now. I think it lives up to the hype for sure. Now, I do want to express there is only one episode out, so I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility that this is like the best episode in the season. Like, maybe from here, the animation takes a fucking nosedive. We've seen it before. Ninja Kamui, Lord help us. Anyone that watched that train wreck unfold. The first 3 episodes, fucking masterpiece, and then it just eats the fattest ass you've ever seen. CGI out the wazoo, becomes like the worst mecha anime ever. They even had like AI images in it at one point. It was a fucking disaster. But it had 3 amazing, beautiful episodes in the beginning. Huge bait and switch with Ninja Kamui. I'm praying that's not the case with Sentenced to be a Hero. I'm pretty optimistic it won't go down that path, but I wanted to at least make a mention that it's something kind of in the back of my head here, since this was such an explosive, beautiful start to it. I don't know how many episodes are going to be in this season, but I wonder if they can keep up that level of quality throughout the entire series here. I feel like they probably can. I think they probably wouldn't have done an hour blowing their load right away if the rest is just trash. Like, if the rest is dog shit, I don't think they would just dump an hour immediately. They'd probably want to spread that out as much as they could. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to stay very high quality throughout. This was a real pleasant surprise of a show here, and another anime that I'll be watching this season. It really is crazy how stacked this season is. There are so many bangers, and now, from out of nowhere, from the top turnbuckle, Sentenced to be a Hero comes in and just fucking lat spreads. It was a really good premiere, and while we're on the subject of anime, I started Orb on the Movements of the Earth very recently. Well, I started a while ago, but then tons of other stuff came out, so I ended up watching that, fell to the back burner. Started again recently. What an incredible show. I haven't finished it yet, but man, what an amazing show. And then I heard that the creator of Orb made 100 Meters. Buddy mine, Dankin, hasn't stopped going ballistic over how good 100 Meters is, which is an anime movie that's on Netflix right now. So I also just watched that. What a fucking amazing movie. I've said this for the last, 3-4 years maybe. We are actually in the golden age of anime animation, like in terms of how incredible these shows look. I know plenty of people will split hairs over, the quality of anime that's coming out, whatever. I'm not here to have that debate. I'm talking purely from the standpoint of animation. It is breathtaking how incredible the shows and movies are that are coming out. Visual masterpieces. Like, the spectacle is unbelievable. In 100 Meters, there is a 3.5-ish minute continuous shot that is painstakingly rotoscoped frame by frame. I looked it up. It's 9,800 or something drawings just for that one section. It is a clear labor of love, and the passion is oozing out from that film every second. I was really, really, really impressed with 100 Meters. And I'm really enjoying Orb, so I'm definitely going to be finishing Orb as well. Big fan of that creator now. Back-to-back bangers I really liked from them. I just wanted to briefly mention that here since I'm just yapping about anime. Incredible stuff is coming out right now. And like I said, this season is so fucking stacked. Also, Fate, the new Fate series just started. It just had its premiere. I haven't seen that one yet, but apparently it's really good. So anyway, yeah, back to the whole point of the video. Sentenced to be a Hero, great start, excited to see more. That's really about it. It lived up to the hype. That's about it, see ya. This is one of the more infuriating stories I've seen in recent times. The injustice here is just unfathomable. Meet Jesse Butler. He is a rapist. Jesse is an 18-year-old that was facing 78 years in prison for heinous crimes, including 10 allegations including rape, battery by strangulation, rape by instrumentation, and domestic assault involving 2 women. He pled no contest to these charges. The evidence is overwhelming. It is irrefutable that he is guilty of these crimes he was charged. There's photo evidence. There's even a video Jesse himself took of him strangling one of his victims till they passed out. There is more proof that Jesse Butler is guilty of all of this rape than there is proof that the sky is blue. This is not a matter of him like weaseling his way out of these charges because they were able to muddy the water or something. He literally pled no contest to them. So you would think this would be a slam dunk case to lock a monster away. I think every sane person in this country would hear this story, learn about Jesse Butler, and agree this is just pure evil and there is no reason at all he should be anywhere but behind bars. But we have to remember, not everyone is sane. And some of these people that have a fucking screw loose are also in positions of power. And in this case, a judge. A judge named Susan C. Worthington in Payne County, Oklahoma, who is just a fucking troglodyte homunculus, it seems, that decided that Jesse Butler shouldn't be going to jail for these crimes. No. Susan C. Worthington rolled up her sleeves and ultimately decided that the punishment that fits the crime in this case is a teensy tiny bit of community service with a 1-2 punch of rehab. That is the justice that Susan C. Worthington brought to the victims of this rapist. This guy will not see a prison cell. He is still going to be a free man, even after pleading no contest to these heinous, vile crimes. He is a rapist. And this judge, Susan C. Worthington, has said, that's okay. Well, it's nothing we can't fix here with a little bit of tender love and care and a bit of elbow grease with some community and service. Now, to be clear here, and keep in mind, I'm still a little, new to understanding how a lot of this shit works with my fucking Neanderthal brain here. But as I understand it, this wasn't Susan C. Worthington's proposal or anything. This was a plea deal that was reached and was put in front of Susan. She granted it. But she had the ability to reject it. A judge can reject a plea, and especially in a case like this, that would have been the right thing to do. This is a monster that under no circumstances should be afforded this kind of deal. This is someone that should not be able to weasel their way back into society. They are a danger, a menace to everyone around them. So while Susan may not have been the one to theory craft this whole community service and rehab idea, she did agree with it ultimately, that this is the right course of action. So by granting this, to me, that is her putting her stamp of approval on it, that this, in her eyes, is justice. It is fucking unhinged. I think Susan C. Worthington needs to be investigated ASAP. This is protecting a rapist. And there is a body cam of when Jesse Butler was taken into custody, and his mother is very supportive of Jesse, talking about how they're going to get him out and all of that. And it turns out Jesse's family is very well connected in Oklahoma. They have a lot of powerful friends, it seems, over there in Oklahoma.
Of both victims who came forward against Jesse, there is a third victim who, if she hasn't come forward, but can you blame her when you look at this as the justice that they get? Speculation is that Jesse Mac Butler's father is a man by the name of Mac Butler, and he was the head of football operations at OSU. So somebody with deep-rooted ties into the community, and that then leads you to the judge in this case, or one of the judges in this case, Judge Susan Worthington. Between her and her father, the Worthingtons have had a hold on that bench for over 50 years. So while you can't necessarily say definitively that, hey, there's this connection here because he's deep-rooted in football.
He goes on to say that it's not difficult mental gymnastics for people to maybe connect these dots or follow these breadcrumbs, that there might be some kind of connection there, considering that this town needs that football program. Like, OSU is a staple of it. Thus, Mac Butler, Jesse Butler's father, is a staple in the community, deep-rooted ties here, and there could be some kind of connection there with him and the Worthingtons. Again, it is something that a lot of people have speculated and taken notice of, to the point where there is now even an authority that is considering investigating this potential connection. And it is very weird how Jesse Butler has these indefensible crimes, yet is not getting any real punishment for it. Is it possible it's because of who his family is? They were very confident that he was going to get away with this. They even said, in the body cam we're about to see, his mother said, we're going to win this. It seems like they were really sure that these unforgivable crimes were going to be forgiven here, ultimately, in the eyes of the law in Oklahoma. I wonder if that might have played a role in him getting away without even a slap on the wrist. This isn't even a slap on the wrist. This is a slap on the ass. This is basically Susan C. Worthington and the entire legal system over there in Payne County, Oklahoma, giving him the old keister clapper saying, hey, good work out there. Don't worry, we got you covered. We got your back over here in Payne County. It's fucking sickening. It is actually unbelievable. I'm going to show you the body cam real quick because I think it's important you get to see who he's surrounded by. Because even though his mother is aware of these crimes, it seems like she's more concerned about her child's future. Like, the actual victim here is Jesse Butler, not the two women that he raped and all of those horrible things he did. It's actually Jesse Butler that, is getting the short end of the stick here and is getting traumatized.
Yeah, so we're here. We're obviously going to place you under arrest. There's a warrant for your arrest. We're going to take you to the jail. I told your mom that she can contact a bondsman. And you shouldn't be very long, but there just is a process for paperwork and stuff. But right now you do have to come with us, and I do have to put you in handcuffs. So turn around for me. You have to put in handcuffs? I do.
Oh man, Jesse's calling the wambulance there. You can see him start to tear up. Oh man, it almost breaks your heart looking at him get all sad like that. And his mom, she's starting to feel it, saying, oh, do you have to put him in handcuffs? Fucking obviously, yes, lady. Of course they have to put him in handcuffs. This guy is a violent rapist. To such an extreme degree, I wouldn't have been surprised if he tried clawing at the fucking cage in the back of the police car to get his hands on one of the officers' necks to strangle them and rape them. This guy is an animal, an absolute fiend. He is a fucking monster. Of course they need to put him in handcuffs.
Transport somebody in custody.
You know we're doing this. It's okay.
Do you have a key?
Yeah. I'll get you out. For me? All right. Stay silent. Rick knows about this. Candy's on this. Dad's on his way. We're coming to get you, okay? Just stay strong, okay? Say your prayers. Awful experience for the child.
What she said while Jesse was walking to the police car there actually made my stomach turn. She said, what an awful experience for a child. Lady, your son raped 2 women. Numerous times. He nearly killed one of them with the strangulation, by the way. And you're saying that him going to jail here, like in handcuffs, is the awful experience for the child? What about the victims? What do you think about that? Do you think that wasn't an awful experience? Like this is worse? Like Jesse's the one we should actually feel bad for here? I understand it must be extremely difficult to wrestle with this reality that your child is a monster. I can't even imagine what that's like. That would be soul crushing. But to wipe your ass with reality and just blindly support them to the point where you will do anything to ensure they don't actually get punished for the very real crimes they committed that you yourself are aware of. Again, this isn't a matter of like his parents believe he's innocent or something. Everybody knows he's guilty. He has even pled no contest. The evidence is irrefutable. So they know he is a rapist, and yet they have fought tooth and nail to ensure he doesn't go to jail for it. In my eyes, that makes them very bad people as well. They are knowingly ensuring a rapist is back in society. And since this punishment, I can't even use that word. That word does not apply here. That stretches the definition. This is not even a punishment. What they gave him is chores to do now. That's it. Where he does like a bit of community and service, and then he does like a rehab program. And they tried to make it seem like this was like a super strict sexual offender rehab program. I don't want to get into like the weeds of how they ended up at this ruling. I recommend you watch the Law and Crime video. They do a good job breaking it down. But basically, to my understanding, is they legally de-aged him like Robert De Niro in The Irishman here. They rewound time, gave him the fucking time infinity stone, so that way he could fit into the youth sex offenders program, so he would no longer be like an adult in the eyes of the law for these crimes that he was being tried for, so that way he could be part of this rehab program. And they said, if he reoffends, he could be facing 10 years in jail. We're really sticking it to him. This is super strict stuff. And I truly think, I really believe, that this is so weak, so flimsy, that the lesson Jesse Butler learned here is that he can get away with anything. And that the only reason he got caught is because his victims survived. So I bet that if he continues to be a free man, it won't be long until he rapes again, and this time he will not leave them alive. That's what I think is going to happen down the line as a result of this ruling here. They have let a monster back into society, and they have now said to that monster, he's untouchable. So, I think there's going to be a corpse on their hands at some point because of this. Jesse Butler is a rapist. Jesse Butler is an evil, evil rapist, and everyone that played a role in him getting away with his crimes needs to be held accountable for it. There needs to be an investigation into this. There needs to be real fucking justice here. This is absolutely sickening, and I just had to yap about this today. It's crazy. That's about it. So yeah. I love aliens. I love UFOs. You know I keep my finger on the pulse of anything related to extraterrestrial activity. I've even set up my own homemade tuning forks, so that way I'll know if there's any big three-titted alien babes that are cruising through. The thing is, I wasn't even going to bother talking about this latest batch of UFO files because they are just completely worthless. There was tremendous amounts of hubbub about declassifying these files. This is the truth. We're going to drag you kicking and screaming. You're not ready, but we're going to make sure you're ready. Swallow your vegetables anyway. Here it is. Cosmic beings, UFOs. And then what they actually declassified was just that. Nothing. Nothing is what they declassified. There is genuinely nothing interesting in there, yet they continued to hype and glaze it up. It's just trash. There's nothing even worth talking about. Yeah, there's the star-shaped entity thing, but that's really it. Everything else is stuff we've already seen a bit about, and others are just completely embarrassing. Why was it uninteresting? There was just nothing substantial is the problem. Just more bleh. I don't know, man. That artist rendition was pretty convincing. Oh. Actual site photo with FBI lab-rendered graphic overlay depicting corroborating eyewitness reports from September 2023 of an apparent ellipsoid bronze metallic object materializing out of a bright light in the sky. It's pretty thought-provoking. Also, if this is what FBI lab-rendered graphics look like in 2026, that's pretty insane. You gotta give them time to catch up, man. Technology's advancing quick. They're still on that GeoCities vibe. It takes time. That shit needs DLSS 5. It's from a game in the 90s. Is it? They just grabbed an image from a game? An old 90s game? So yeah, the alien files weren't anything super cool. Still nothing. It's still no pickles. Oh, I didn't even read the statements they said about it. This is unprecedented transparency in what the US government knows about UFOs, Hegseth said, adding, these files hidden behind classifications have long fueled justified speculation, and it's time the American people see it for themselves. We can't handle this kind of truth, man. You gotta keep this under wraps. This is gonna cause a nationwide panic. He's right. Dag nabbit, he's right. From a game that was on 7 floppy disks split across them due to file size. This was probably very innovative for its time, if that's the case. Don't copy that floppy. Any day now, though, we'll get some really irrefutable, hard proof of extraterrestrial visitation. I'm telling you. See, look, they're even teasing it. There's more to come. Government saying new materials will be released on a rolling basis every few weeks as records are found, reviewed, and declassified. I am salivating. I can't wait to see the next batch. Now, like I said, my dad thought that this was nothing. He texted me last night saying that it was a big nothing burger. Yeah, that was unprompted, too. Usually he doesn't get the latest UFO drops, but last night I guess he was just seeing it somewhere, and he texted me, said, the released UFO vids are a real nothing burger, exclamation, exclamation. What a joke, exclamation, exclamation. So he was pretty upset. He sounds so invested. Well, I mean, he is to a certain degree. He doesn't keep up with, the latest baloney dumps, the fucking spheres, the goddamn flying colanders, and, little soccer balls in the sky that people go crazy over. He doesn't care about that shit. But when it comes to, file releases and stuff, he at least tries to stay on top of it and take a look. But so far, he has not seen anything convincing. So he's not active in the UFO subreddit. He is not. He certainly doesn't like that very much. They're hiding the real UFO pictures like Bubble Bass hiding the pickles under his tongue. Brother, I've got bad news. I'm going to rip the Band-Aid off. There is none. Like, I'm sure they have some, like, wacky files and stuff, because they had so many old-school weirdo projects, like the MK Ultra stuff. They also had all of these, like, astral projecting projects that they were doing, the CIA was conducting with, like, the psychics and stuff, which is why, like, a year ago you saw those articles about the declassified CIA documents confirming that there was giants on Mars. But if you actually look at it, what they were doing is they had these drug-induced maniacs go in, fucking blindfold them, and try and, like, guess cue cards that they were holding, and then they'd tell them stories about how they astral projected onto Mars and had conversations with giants. Like, you're not going to find anything, like, actually convincing when it gets declassified, because they did some fucking nut job shit in the CIA back in, like, the 60s and 70s. They were actually trying to do, like, Marvel X-Men stuff. And then they wrote about it as if it was, like, successful. So, like, ESP, mind readers, astral projectors, time travelers, they had all of these kind of wacky programs. They also killed a lot of people. Well, I mean, in the pursuit of mutants and superhumans, that's to be expected. The gay bomb, too. Oh, the gay bomb is a classic. The gay bomb actually is a classic. The thought being drop a bomb that would cause all the dudes to just start fucking each other and not fight anymore. The enemy is gay now. But they still shot at us. I do love that thinking, though. Like, that's going to somehow be a really effective weapon. Like, let's just assume it works. Let's assume they did create the gay bomb. They deploy it. Now all the soldiers have sex. They all blow their load. Then they go right back to what they were doing before. So you bought yourself, like, a couple of minutes where they're fucking, and then what? It was a truly baffling proposal. Might backfire on your own army. Oh, can you imagine transporting the gay bomb, but it springs a leak, then the plane crashes because everyone's fucking themselves ferociously? No! We made the whole plane gay! No, it's gay! Shit! The one thing we couldn't plan for! No! Yeah, it was interesting stuff, man, I'm telling you. Those declassified files and the ones that we keep getting have some really wacky projects the government looked into at the very least. Some actively pursued. Oh, point I was making, to tie it back to the alien stuff, I do not think they have anything like groundbreaking in regards to aliens. Like, I don't think there's alien bodies, alien weaponry, alien craft that they've ever recovered or anything like that. Surely they have, like, unexplainable aerial phenomena, like stuff that they've already declassified, like the tic-tac, that kind of stuff, which is interesting, but I don't think it's extraterrestrial. I don't think they have anything, like, that's going to make you go, oh my god, aliens are real and they were here. Because I don't think aliens have ever been here. Because if they have, we would have never known about them. They're not going to get all the way here and fucking crash. That's not going to happen. The technology that they would need to get here, it would be unthinkable that it would somehow malfunction here. You can't even begin to understand and comprehend the technology that would be necessary for a different species to make it here. It defies our understanding of everything. But you can't debunk that tic-tac, can you? I can't. I don't know what it is, but I just don't think it's extraterrestrial. I don't think it was aliens in their cruiser. Just because I can't explain it doesn't mean that that's the default correct answer. You can't tell me whether or not there's poop in my pants right now. There's no way. You can make a guess, but you don't know. Dodecahedron. Very powerful. Geometry so strong, so divine that even me just saying that word probably healed someone's bronchitis out there watching this. And I recently learned about a pioneer in the field of dodecahedrons, metatrons, and pyramids named Scott. And let me tell you something, Scott is very powerful. Sacred geometry bends to his will. He's like a level 99 cleric. He's able to keep the whole party healthy thanks to his healing starship that he commands. You see, he has set up unfathomable technology that science can't even begin to comprehend. It's copper pipe in the shape of dodecahedrons. He also has a Metatron Merkaba, of course, you can't forget that. A pyramid, as well as like a little table underneath this where patients will pay a visit to Scott and also pay hand over fist oodles of cash, presumably, to be there. And what Scott does is heal them. He basically sits you down in his dodecahedron copper contraption and he factory resets your ass. He's setting that shit back to default settings. He could probably even fucking de-age you with this. If you go in there and you're like 80 years old, you'll leave 18. But as they say, the proof is in the pudding. So let me show you a little bit of butt here. I'm going to show you some of Scott's work and it's irrefutable evidence, but also the most impressive thing here is he's not selfish with it. He's not hogging the secrets of this sacred geometry to himself. In fact, he is enabling anyone out there to buy their own dodecahedron copper contraptions from him, from his website, and you can even own your own Metatron Merkaba for the low price of $150,000. Have you heard of dodecahedron quantum healing? Okay, can't say I've heard of that one either. Dodecahedron quantum healing, huh? Sacred geometry, music, and frequency of the dodecahedron with transmission. Dodecahedron quantum DNA optimization. Meditating in this quartz crystal-infused form, people have seen entities experiencing missing time events and gone out of body often?
Over here we have the dodecahedron, which is the etheric connection. So in meditation, this allows us to go beyond the veil and discover other realms that we've not experienced before. Now, you can really do that in the pyramid as well, but this is a whole different deal. This opens up the meridians of the body so that energy flows more progressively to every organ to regenerate. The pyramid is more like a stasis that preserves the body. With the pyramid, this allows that energy to flow more effectively. A lot of people...
So you just lay on it and it does all that? Wow. Why? How? I guess it's silly of me to question the power of the dodecahedron, to be honest. Is this the next Xbox?
Orbs coming out from the inside of it, and we communicated with them for about 9 months, and I learned all about it.
9 months?
Guys and my son. He indicated each one of these open faces had a particular color associated with it, but he was only like 8 years old. And I noticed the top.
Yeah, brother, it's called playing pretend.
Was always lime green.
Can I make a dodecahedron quantum DNA optimizer myself? Is it just the shape, the sacred geometry? Or do I need the 30 pounds of copper on each fucking wing? I would imagine it doesn't matter. I could probably just do it out of PVC, right? This guy's been doing this for a long time. Look up Scott Starship TM Testimonial 3. These are the flight logs of voyages through the quantum starship. He's got a starship?
Like my heart chakra was completely wide open and that there was a beam of light underneath me that was just blasting through my heart chakra.
Awesome.
And that I was just like elevated in this beam of light.
With my lungs, they feel so much more expanded. I've recently had pneumonia and it's helped a lot with that.
The starship did? It's a healing starship?
I was going towards the sun. It was just like pure light. I was just cruising. I was like just shooting straight towards it.
Jesus Christ.
And it was like,
change path. You don't want to be going towards the sun.
The energy cruising. And I remember at one point in time I was like head towards the sun. And I'm just like,
why is everyone going towards the sun? Get
right
out of there. That's like the last place you want to go. Oh my god. What the fuck? The raptor and spaghetti. In quantum state, the dodecahedron interfaces the etheric into our 3D world. Check out the Metatron cube. Metatron Cube 3D. Oh, is it Scott's Metatron Cube? The Merkaba entrance point.
A lot of people have been asking me, how do you get inside the form? This Metatron's cube. I'll show you. See this pipe? Watch this. I do this. Give it a little turn.
And what does the Metatron Cube do? Connecting to the divine through sacred geometry. Divine geometrical universe. Okay. Well, that makes sense. He had another channel where he used to sell lemonade. Oh. Does he still sell lemonade? Did a deep dive on this dude. He's been doing this for nearly 30 years. He has so many YouTube channels. Who's to say you don't travel to the sun in the dodecahedron Metatron Cube? I've never sat in one. That shit might wrong warp me like it's Ocarina of Time speedruns. Who's to say? You can order one from his website for only $900. I can order my own Metatron Cube. Wow, and for $6,000 I can get my own indoor Merkaba star tetrahedron. Wow. Holy fuck. For $150,000 I can get this.
A lot of people.
This is his Starship Metatron Cube Merkaba. $150,000. Oh my god, I'm losing money not buying this. Wow. For $15 worth of pipe and a table. Holy fuck, he has Suno AI Quantum Healing Music album. Look up Scott Ascend. Nice. Oh, the $900 is for his mobile pyramid. for his mobile pyramid. Thank heavens. I was needing that. For when I need to starship travel on the go. Also called Four Pipes. Yes, but in a pyramid shape. And copper. Portable starship. Yeah, exactly. See, that guy gets it. For $2,700, I get the dodecahedron printed crystal connectors. All of these seem great. Have you not looked at the studies page on his site? Oh, does he have studies? Experience what 3.3 million people are discovering. 3.3 million. The Starship trademark has been on the move in 2025. You can become one of the first in the world to study the effects of the dodecahedron, star tetrahedron, and platonic solids on life. Below are a few on pyramids. 100% undeniable fact that there are powerful energetic influences at play here. Let's learn together and explore new ways to quantify results. Oh, I actually didn't say quantify. Quantify results. Okay, so no research on his $150,000 offers, or the $8,000 offer, or the $2,700 offer. But for the $900 mobile pyramid, we have the influence of pyramid structure on cells. The Earth is made of cubes. Go to the consultation page. You can buy a session with Scott for $100 per hour. Well, what's the session going to consist of if I don't buy his mobile pyramid or his tetrahedron? What's he going to do? Just play AI Suno music at me? What does that look like? I'm curious. Let me see. AI speculates on Starship. Cool. Booking. An energy/health consultation or the Starship session for 2 hours, $333. What does it consist of, though? This is just a picture of you, Scott. Oh, here we go. Scott will guide you through relevant considerations for improving your health to include radiation exposure reduction, working with the energy forms using light therapy, magnetic therapies, oxygen therapy, PEMF therapy, essential oils, genetic signaling, exercise, longevity, and anti-aging considerations, massage, etc. He's going to massage me? Oh, wow, wait, what? Scott was diagnosed with leukemia in late 2006, cured it in 3 months after discovering his cure protocol early in 2007. There's no way he's trying to say that, like, the dodecahedrons and tetrahedrons that he sits inside cured his leukemia, right? That would be another level of scam. It went from silly to downright exploitative. Does anyone actually believe these work? I have no doubt. I mean, on his channel, he has a ton of people that filter in there, and now looking at the prices on his website, they're paying hundreds of dollars just to sit in his fucking his copper pyramid. I once watched a man die, and as the light was slowly fading from his eyes, he grabbed my hand and he said to me, "Peter?" I replied, "Yes, Ben." He said, "What is it all for? All these streaming services, this plague." And then he shed the mortal coil. And to this day, that question still echoes in my head, because I don't know. Why are we surrounded by so many dog shit streaming services? When will it end? It's entirely unnecessary. All that being said, one of them that I've made fun of quite a bit in the past has just done something to impress me. Tubi, which used to be a joke, at least to me. I used to view that platform as a big hoot and a holler gag. It didn't even register to me as like a legitimate service, just more so like a pathetic whimper of a platform. But I just familiarized myself with their catalog, and I genuinely have to give them props for what they're doing over there. Yeah, I saw the Tubi news. I've been clowning on Tubi for a little while. Like, I'm not the most familiar with it, but when we were going through, like, the streaming services rabbit hole where everything is a streaming service and half of them you haven't even heard of, just, like, the wackiest ones that are just actual glup shitto tier names, Tubi was one of them that we kind of clowned on. But then I saw their catalog here. They're adding some of the all-time great cartoons to their catalog, so much so that I think this is just, like, an actual game changer in the streaming landscape. Just look at this list of some of the shit they've added. Codename Kids Next Door, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Batman Brave and the Bold, Ben 10, Dexter's Lab, Ed, Ed and Eddie, Foster's Home, Justice League, Pinky and the Brain, Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans, Batman. It's an incredibly stacked catalog now that they have. So I'm becoming somewhat of a Tubi fan. That is incredible news. No subscriptions and all ad-free, which is something I didn't know, in my defense, when we clowned on it a while ago. I did not know that. No one told me that. That was a lie, by the way. Just a full-blown fib from chat. It's not entirely ad-free, apparently. I don't know what that guy was smoking. Maybe that was a Tubi representative trying to get people hype and sell everyone on Tubi and just made that up. But it is not ad-free. It's still a free service, like you can still watch things, but there are ads. That's how they make money. Didn't Tubi make shit ads a while back? You're thinking of Quibi. That was the one where they, like, paid millions and millions of dollars in marketing and millions of dollars on these, like, absolute dog shit movies that are, like, 40 minutes long that were terrible. That was Quibi. Or, nope, that's not the name of it. What the hell was it called? Oh, no, it was Quibi. I did get it right. You're thinking of this. No, Tubi actually used to blow. It's just gotten better. Okay, then maybe it was truly the perfect time to clown on it, and now they're good. Unironically ahead of its time, now all people do is watch movies and shows on TikTok. You're talking about Quibi? You're not wrong. The way that people consume content has drastically changed. So actually, they were ahead of their time. People literally watch House exclusively through YouTube Shorts, for example. Tubi still has a ton of extremely fun bad movies like Tales of the Detroit Pig Lady. Tales of the Detroit Pig Lady? That's a Tubi original? Like, what is this? One of Nolan's earlier works? What the hell is Detroit Pig Lady? This looks interesting. Oh, it just started playing. Hold on. The whole thing just immediately started playing. That's so hype. What an easy service to use. The Detroit legend of an old woman who lived on the block. They say she resembles a pig and will appear if you say her name 3 times in a dark room. So it's Bloody Mary, but for the Detroit pig lady. The blood of La Llorona. Wait, maybe I need to watch some of this Tubi trash. Wait, these might go kind of hard. The Walk of Rufus II, Theotis. The Priest Thanksgiving Massacre. Die 2-4. What does that mean? Die 2-4? I can't even process what that could mean. Oh, it's 2 die 4. Oh my god, the formatting on that is worse than the don't open dead inside one. Don't dead open inside. It's under the picture. Oh, I didn't even look. I was just looking at these. I was too drawn in for the actual the text at the bottom. Horror anthology of short horror films from cult underground indie horror filmmakers from across the globe that will make your heart race. Bombshell Butcher. Creepy Tales of Pizza and Gore. Bro, I'm gonna have to watch some of this Tubi shit. It sounds awesome. There's a Popeye horror movie called Popeye the Slayer. You aren't ready for the meals Tubi is prepared to serve you up. No, I don't think so. I can handle their strongest potions. I have seen so much shit, there is nothing on Tubi that's going to be worse than some of the things I've already seen. Bro, these movies literally have like $20 budgets. I mean, that's cool. Hey, even if the 99% of this is trash, it's cool that they at least give them a platform to slap it on. Whatever. I can't even be mad at that. And the fact that they now have some of the best... it's not even up for debate. The fact that they have the best catalog when it comes to animation now. Well, we'll say cartoons. I'm a Tubi fan. It feels like a piracy streaming site layout. A little bit, huh? So how does Tubi make money if it's completely ad-free and no subscription? What's their monetization model? Is this some kind of like honey level shadiness? Like, what do they do? It does have ads. Oh, okay. Why does chat keep fucking lying then? Okay, so they do have ads. What happened to the League of Legends arc? Oh man, I'll spoil this a little bit, I suppose. I made a joke a while ago, like after we won the Demacia Cup, about doing like a full documentary, and we have gone hog wild on that documentary. So we got a huge documentary coming up about our Demacia Cup win as we prep for our next clash for the Noxus Cup. So we went hard on the documentary following we found the G-spot. So I'm still deep in that League of Legends arc. Holy shit, put it on Tubi! We should do that. It is very high quality. I think people will be very excited. We got the Shopify Rebellion editing squad on it. Well, I don't want to spoil too much, because we also have a really, really big surprise with it that kind of blew the scale of it way over our expectations. We might have got a little too big with it. Will Chinese Charles also do a documentary? We'll see. Oh man, the Chinese translation on Bilibili for our League documentary is going to go nuts. They're going to be so excited on Bilibili to follow the journey of We Found the G-Spot. WFTGS Gaming, holy.
Okay, I'm going.
This is Burger King?
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
The Grinch, we'll have Burger King later. That's in the next video.
Okay, this is the McDonald's Grinch meal.
Which, if you look at the box, it says, "This was my idea, Grinch." So he came up with this, and it says, "Festive, ew, Merry Grinchmas."
The McShaker fries, all for me. It's empty.
Did you ever do McShaker fries?
I don't know what that is.
I think actually you saying that shows no.
Yeah, what is
Let
it?
me teach you. Get your fries out.
Also, our driver stole all of our fries.
Yeah, I got extra ones. So screw
Take your
you,
bag.
Pop.
Okay.
You're gonna open the bag. You're gonna dump your fries in. I think they still do these in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. But they stopped here years ago. Now pull out your dill pickle seasoning.
My dill pickle seasoning, huh?
Are you a pickle fan usually? Like
I
on
like
stuff?
pickles, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
No,
You're
pickles
gonna-
are good.
You're gonna open your
wow.
seasoning,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna dump it in the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure to get it all out.
That's very, very pickly.
Mhm.
They did a good job on that. And then I'm guessing this.
You're gonna, yeah. You do that, and then you mix shake them. Is this good for the audio?
Yeah. Here, I'll take the camera too.
4-sprinkle roll shake, yeah.
Oh.
I forgot the roll.
I did that part? Yeah, I almost told you. They always said you roll it so the seasoning doesn't come in.
Very cool.
I can't believe you've never had
I've
shaker
never even
fries.
heard of shaker fries.
I don't remember the seasonings they used to have.
Wow, that didn't spread very evenly.
No, yours did
That's
not.
'cause
Look
you
at
didn't
mine.
roll
Look
it.
how beautiful it is.
Ah, well, a lot of good pickle coming in.
You want
I
me to
guess.
shake it for you?
No, I'm fine. I made my bed. I'll lie in it. Wow. Can you see that?
Yeah, you got a lot on that puppy.
Alright, maybe I will. I'm gonna mix shake that shit again. Right here. That's just an instant kidney
wow.
stone.
I'll try the pickle. Wow.
Oh wow. I'm saying wow for different reasons. My reason is these are good.
That is actually pretty good.
Anyway. Oh yeah, those aren't
Chelsea,
bad.
come have a pickle
I
fry.
didn't expect that to actually be that good.
Yeah.
They did well. They did really well.
Oh, delightful.
Oh, I thought you hated it.
No, I showed.
You
It's a
hate
little
it?
shocking if you're not ready for it, but it actually does taste good.
It's like there's something else there.
I should stop.
That's very good. Wow, thank you, Grinch.
You did a great job. What do you do to my nuggets?
They're just, so that's the meal. It's like the shaker fries.
Are there 10
you
nuggets
get
in there?
a toy, I think. Something.
Is that the toy?
That's the toy. You okay if I open the toy?
Yeah.
I really
Well,
want-
you should have one too.
Yeah.
Are they different?
I don't know.
Are there multiple?
They're multiple.
Do
I
you also have
guarantee it.
nuggets?
Yeah. No, I have a Big Mac.
There's a big, the meal comes
gotcha.
Big Mac or chicken nuggets.
And there's nothing special about those?
Other than the shaker fries and the toy, I guess.
Well, to answer the Grinch where he says this was my idea, it was a shit idea.
I got
Unless it-
socks.
I got socks too. They're the
Whoa.
same fucking socks.
Same socks.
I think that's a pretty good, like,
is a
as an
good toy.
adult, I
That's a
think
good
that's
toy.
pretty good. I don't know if a kid would like socks, but I
I
would
can't
like
read
socks.
it because it's on the bottom.
I think
Nose hazard. That's I can read, right? That says nose hazard.
Yeah.
you got sticky feet now.
Yeah, because you're
I was
smelly.
thinking like somebody would kick me in the face. All right.
Yes, that's what the Grinch is known
All
to
right,
do.
Danny loves socks.
I'll wear those.
All right, and then
Yeah, put this over here.
we got the Big Mac.
Big Mac. Yep,
Big
that's a
Mac.
normal Big Mac.
You don't know that. They gave me sweet and sour sauce, just like the Grinch.
They gave me Big Mac.
Just like the Grinch. Whew.
Am I dumb, or does that patty look a little different?
I don't know.
He just grinched on
No, it
it
looks
a
like there's
little
like
bit.
egg on it, right? Is it that layer right there? It doesn't look like a little egg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like lettuce.
No, maybe it is just. Yeah, maybe it is.
I don't know if it's any different.
Is it eggy?
No, it's just a Big Mac.
Is it good?
I mean, it's a Big Mac.
Here, I'll try it.
Farm. Farm.
You want a Grinch nugget?
Yeah, I'll take a Grinch nugget. Yep, that's a nugget.
That's a Big Mac. I can't believe it's exactly what Chelsea told us it was.
Yeah.
You got any more Grinch salt to put on the nuggets?
Oh, good idea.
There's none.
Wait, let me have a plain one before you Grinch it up.
Here, I'll take one too. I don't need sauce.
It's like a Skyrim.
What version of the Grinch is y'all's favorite?
What are my options?
Do you want to
The
know?
original or the Jim Carrey one?
Or the elimination one.
Yeah, the animated.
Oh, I forgot there was a new one.
Definitely the Jim Carrey one.
Yeah, I've only ever seen the Jim Carrey one.
Jim Carrey was made to play the Grinch.
Yeah, have you seen the original animated?
I know.
Oh wow.
I've only seen the Jim Carrey one. I've seen. I read it in the book though.
Yeah.
I've never watched any of the animated
Show
ones.
it to us in school.
The Grinch
If you see this guy,
definitely-
you have to kill him.
There was a really shitty horror Christmas movie that I watched recently where they like the Grinch is the main bad guy. It is probably the worst writing I've ever watched, and it was beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful.
That's fun. That's always fun.
You would probably really like it, Charlie.
I think the
I know I
Grinch
would.
was, and this probably isn't a hot take, extremely justified to be the way he was. They were horrible to him.
I don't remember. What did they do to him?
He just was made fun of and bullied everywhere for being green.
Yeah.
It was just racism.
Yeah, but they got over it. All right.
Yeah.
So what was it?
Fair.
So he stole Christmas and then they forgave him? I don't remember the story.
He stole Christmas.
No, he stole Christmas and then he realized his wrongdoings and became
brought
nice.
Christmas back.
Cindy Lou
Yeah.
Who made his heart
Cindy
beat
Lou
to
Who.
normal
Yeah.
size.
The
And then-
one non-racist who treated him like a human being.
Yeah, but
No, go ahead.
essentially, beginning, the umbrellas carrying the babies accidentally blew him into the wrong town. So he was supposed to go to the Grinch land. He ended up in Whoville. Nice family. Nice family
You hate
accepts
to see
him.
that.
Treats him really well. It is.
Yeah, that's the lore.
Nice family accepts him, treats him well, and then as a kid, the mayor fucking shits on him. The kids in his class shit on him. He tries shaving his face. He gets little scabs. They make fun of him. It was just mean, so he hides up in the mountains away from everybody.
The lore is that he was meant to go to a place with other people that look like him.
Right, it's literally racism, the story.
Why was that?
I'm not kidding, it is. Like, it
I
literally
mean,
is.
The baby delivery system was flawed at the time. You didn't come out of a person. You came in on an umbrella egg thing.
Right.
How babies are born.
Yeah,
Right.
so big
Like,
wind.
it's a battle royale.
Yeah,
Legitimately,
dropped-
he was playing Fortnite.
He dropped
and a
in
big gust
Pachinki.
pushed-
So why have we never seen Grinchland?
I'm sure they have they never shown Grinch
It's
Land?
kind of like in Avatar when all the airbenders are dead.
Yeah.
That's why
It's
when
such an untapped market right
it
now.
is when
Yeah.
he's fixing Christmas, he gets those arrows that start glowing.
Yeah.
Also, this Big Mac was pretty good.
Yeah, it's a Big Mac.
I would say,
I mean, you get a meal.
yeah, very underwhelming.
You get socks.
And you get socks. I appreciate the McShaker fries. That's cute. I
Those are
guess.
great. I think they should bring back shaker fries all the time.
I want another flavor though.
They could have done others.
Yeah, like garlic, parm type stuff like
I
that.
feel like we're not used to. You don't really see McDonald's doing a shit job. They normally put their best forward, like that Sweetie meal.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't that literally just the sauce?
They actually just get. She was like, I like putting nuggets on my burger, so they'd give you nuggets and a burger, so you could put
But
nuggets
it,
on. The
it
burger.
did have sauce though, if I remember
Oh,
right.
that's right. The sweet,
The Sweetie
sauce.
and sour sauce or something
Oh,
like
Yeah,
yeah.
that.
it was something like that. Yeah, they had the BTS one too. That one was the most lazy.
What was that one?
That one was, I think.
It was literally.
Yeah, it was just chicken nuggets. I think they didn't even give you a special sauce. It was just chicken nuggets. No,
And
they
they
gave
didn't do anything
they gave you
different?
sweet and sour sauce as well. I think.
I think they were on
But
the.
No, they gave you the sweetie and sour sauce again.
I think also the Jujutsu Kaisen one was really bad too. That one was just like. a
We
bad
instantly
sauce.
thought of 400 better ideas with that one. Like, they didn't do one thing right with that one. This one, they just needed to do more. Like, at least make green mayo on the burger or something.
Yeah, it's just very uninspired. No one cares anymore about these collabs from the corporate perspective. They fucked up. Good dill pickle sauce there, salt though.
Yeah, here, I'm gonna look it up real quick because I'm pretty sure. Why is my microphone on my phone? Who's listening to me?
You got a
Huh.
wire on you?
He's trying to voice
No.
noise so he never forgets.
Do you think the Grinch, the Grinch saw return on this deal that they put together
No
with McDonald's?
shot. What do they even get out of this?
The Dr. Seuss estate.
Yeah.
What if when you finish the shaker fries at the bottom of the bag, it says the Grinch will return, and they have like a really gritty remake of the Grinch coming out?
The Grinch Doomsday.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. They have roasted garlic butter shaker fries in Japan. That sounds much better. Ume nori, they're called shaka shaka fries. Red pepper, they have a lot of flavors there.
That's cool.
So,
And they used to do it here?
they did. When did they stop?
It said the 90s when I looked at it.
I was gonna say I don't remember doing them.
Yeah, I don't
I'm an
either.
old man. So, I guess that one was underwhelming.
It was fine though. I liked it. That was a special experience.
Oh, why McDonald's is permanently replacing this from November 23rd. Replacing shaker fries with.
Normal fries.
Okay, this was a scam site that brought me to an AI thing. Whatever. It was fine.
Yeah, it was fine. I mean, it is what it is. It's,
Alright.
it's fucking fries and nuggets. Or fries and a Big Mac.
With one of the disappointing turnouts from McDonald's, do you think Burger King SpongeBob collab beats it or falls flatter?
It can't fall flatter. This is
It can
two
be.
items.
It can be bad though.
It can be bad. Like, it can
Right.
taste bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like as far as, like, what you get, it can't be less than this. Well,
If-
actually, I mean, you got socks. You got socks.
I did get socks.
You got
You are
socks.
right. We're discounting that because they're not edible. We got
Yeah,
socks
that's true.
and shaker fries.
That's
and
true.
And a box.
And a box.
And a box.
That's true. I didn't think of
Which, remember, it's Burger King. They may not give us a bag or box. They may not do anything for it. It might just be called SpongeBob.
That's true. I just feel like there's no, like, it can't go lower. It's just my hunch.
Well, and as Burger King says, we can.
they do typically do that, yeah.
Are we doing... I know your answer based on the extent of what was in this. You want one video or two?
Let's see the Burger King meal.
All right,
'cause-
so
All right.
it's just in case.
Yeah, let's just do an outro just in case.
Yeah. Before the outro, I'll do a little... Are you editing this? Here's a screen wipe for Charlie. All right, do an outro.
Burger King, McDonald's Grinch, fuck yeah. Love that guy.
It was fine.
That's the guy. Thanks for the collab, McDonald's. You did it again. You knocked it out of the park.
You're sounding more and more like Rick and Morty.
2 days, no sleep. It's rough. It's
You
rough.
dip into Rick and Morty land.
Yeah. It's the Bikini Bottom Burger King blowout. We got the Burger King SpongeBob collab.
They made a box. We
They
thought
got-
they wouldn't.
They got the pineapple box. They got the Flying Dutchman brew.
They got the bag also with the Flying Dutchman. This is concerning to me right off the bat. You didn't drink any of
No.
this. It just was like that.
It's a slushy. So
They
there's one that's a
they
slushy
left
and one
room
that's
for
a float.
Jesus.
Yeah, they left a lot of room for Jesus. I didn't know he was that big.
So this definitely melted then.
So there's
Yes.
some that's like the one that Matt has is just the slushy, and then the one that you have is the float version. So it's a slushy with ice cream.
Yeah, 'cause
it looks so good.
Oh, yours has cream.
Yes.
All right, should we drink these before they melt even more?
Yes, I would like that actually.
Here, here.
Ah, wonderful.
I'll mix it up so it's a slushy again. That actually
What
worked.
flavor do you think it is?
Green.
2 salads.
Green apple.
I think it's Diet Dr.
It's
Kelp.
yeah, those
Oh.
kelp flavored.
Is that what it's supposed to be?
I would presume. One would presume.
Yeah, let me see what it says.
Frozen drink. It says frozen Fantapa.
Oh yeah, Fanta Tropical.
Oh, Fanta. I see.
It's very sweet.
Yes.
Here, would you like to try it sans ice cream?
Sure. I didn't taste the ice cream in mine yet, so
I guess I know what ice cream tastes like, and I know what that tastes like. So.
definitely tastes the same.
Yeah, it's
I'm getting the ice cream.
pineapple mango slush or the pineapple.
Oh, pineapple. That
Pineapple,
makes
yeah,
sense.
that
That's his
makes
home.
sense.
What did they call it?
The frozen Fanta pineapple,
Oh,
and then Pirate's frozen pineapple float.
Oh,
I guess they.
so that one's not
tried-
yours. Isn't as
tried-
special.
Yeah. So
You can try the ice cream on top there if you want. It's fine.
That's crazy how much Diet Dr. Kelp was such a layup.
I know.
That's what they would
that's
do.
what I was about to say. It's better with ice cream.
Yeah.
Shocking. Everything I know about this, you're going to, with each item, be like, why the fuck did they do that? Like, why did they not name the green drink Diet Dr. Kelp?
Yeah.
There were layups everywhere.
They could have given you a novelty drink hat and out of it, yeah.
Oh, he was number one. Man, we do this every time with Burger King. We just make it better immediately.
Just hire us as consultants.
Restaurants that do meals like that where they have a different drink. Like it's not, it is like Dr. Kelp or whatever.
I don't know.
How much do
I
you
wonder if
think
there's some weird law around that.
That's a good question.
I wonder how much is like Viacom being like, no, you can't actually use that.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, that's ours. We don't want you to have it.
That'd be weird though to just give them nothing.
I would love to.
Because why do it at that point?
All right, what is this?
These?
That is Patrick
That's
Starberry's shortcake. That's a weird word.
These are cinnamon rolls.
Oh, never mind.
Oh,
I think they messed up.
they're Gary shells.
It's just, yeah, it's part of the Krusty Krab craving bundle.
Do you want to save the dessert? I didn't mean to go straight. All right, that's fine. I don't know what else is in here. There's 2 bags. Oh, all right. What is this?
That, I believe, is one of Mr. Krabs' cheesy bacon tots.
This is so silly.
You don't remember the episode where Mr. Krabs loved cheesy bacon tots and he talks about it all the time?
Yeah, SpongeBob, you're gonna have to cook up something new.
Arr.
Cheesy tater tots.
Arr,
I can see a
first
correlation
cheesy tots.
between crabs and bacon, like money, making the bacon. Isn't that a thing? Something like that.
Bring home the bacon.
That's it though. That's like
It's
the
a
only
stretch,
line
but
I
I
can look at there.
Crab legs in there.
Oh,
Crab legs?
Such a layup.
This is a banger
It
item
is.
though.
It is really good.
This is a good item.
Wait. There's. Oh, that goes.
I think there's another one in there, too.
There were 2, but one was simply an empty bag because Burger King has done it again.
No, that's the one. This is the other one. That just spilled in there.
Wait, so what are those?
It's also 4-piece jalapeno cheddar bites.
That's
Oh.
That's just part of the Mr. Krabs bundle.
That's good.
That's a bacon tot.
Let me get a bacon one if there's more left.
There's one left.
One in the box.
Nope, that's a jalapeno popper.
That's all
Not
right.
that.
I'll live.
That's
you know.
good.
I'll have a jalapeno popper.
Those 2 items immediately much better than everything McDonald's did.
Some of the best that Burger King's ever done, to be honest.
That was extraordinary.
Jalapeno popper.
Oh, that's
We've said this before. Anytime Burger King makes something in a fry or bigger shape, it's good.
Yeah, they fucking crushed this. I like that a lot.
Do you think they know they're bad at burgers and they just keep making them because it's in their name?
I feel like at some point.
It would just be king.
Yeah, we're this far. It's the sunk cost fallacy.
Man, those were good.
I'm sad that you didn't get a bacon cheese.
Yeah.
That's all right. I'll go get one myself.
Well, I
later.
have a half-eaten one in there, but my
Would you
hands
like
were
to
dirty.
try?
No, that's all right. I'll be fine.
Still horrible tie-in to the show.
It doesn't
really
match,
good.
Doesn't match the theme, but great food items for sure.
Like, I would actually say they should have just made those and not put.
I have
them
a
in
question.
Yeah.
Have any of you watched current SpongeBob?
No.
Maybe Mr. Krabs took a weird bacon cheese twist that we don't know about.
Bacon cheese.
I started watching the most recent Sandy Cheeks movie,
I did not know.
and
that
I
was a
didn't
thing.
see Mr. Krabs mention anything about cheese nor bacon, but that movie did suck major ass.
What was the spoilers coming? What was the through plot? Like,
The premise.
I
yeah.
don't remember, but I recall it was half animation, half live action. It
Like
was,
where they put them on popsicle sticks and walk them above the
nope,
water.
it was like
Oh.
3D animation meets like Disney like That's So Raven type sitcom thing.
Oh.
I didn't
sounds
finish
weird.
who played Sandy?
Well,
Are you saying
no,
like an actress?
No.
Oh,
Like the
it was
like,
still like more realism animation.
yeah, they had the same 3D animation that SpongeBob has become known for now, which is
Yep.
awful looking.
Terrible.
And then they had like a live action cast that was like the bad guys.
Oh, I see.
Kinda, yeah.
Huh.
But really, it was
Huh.
terrible. I didn't finish
That
it.
sounds atrocious.
And not a single mention of bacon and cheese bites.
Not in the first 30 minutes.
What about Cine Minis?
I didn't hear anything about Cine Minis in that movie.
That's a weird consistency.
Yeah, I like that consistency of glaze.
What's that remind you of?
It reminds me of the sea, me boy. This is... What are these? Just cinnamon rolls?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
It's a cinnamon roll.
That's a cinnamon roll.
What's the name of those?
Mini-Cinnies?
Cinnamon rolls.
Yeah, cinnamon.
Yeah, they're just called city minis.
There's no tie into SpongeBob.
No, it's just part of the Krusty Krab
That's
Crazy
fine.
bundle.
That's fine.
No, that's all right.
Sometimes you just need to put a dessert in there.
They've got city minis for
But I thought maybe they'd be like, Gary's shell.
The
Like,
chum
there you
bucket cinnamon McGimmerman.
Exactly.
Oh, I didn't know John Daly was here.
We got more.
Okay, I think this one is supposed to be SpongeBob and Patrick's F.U.N. meal.
Oh, okay, see, that's much cooler.
I will say they're crushing McDonald's.
Yeah. These items are so much better.
I think one of those. I think one of those could be one of the bacon ones.
That's what we're eating. That's good.
Did it come with the pie?
Oh yeah, and then with the pie. We've got Patrick Starr's berry shortcake pie. You remember
Starberry.
Starberry shortcake pie. Remember that episode? If only they had a whole episode based around them
pie.
having pie.
Yeah.
If only.
That would be crazy.
It'd be so convenient if they had that.
Yeah, they'll get there. And then
We got-
the most upsetting of them all.
Just a Whopper.
No, it's the Krabby Whopper.
It's the SpongeBob's Krabby Whopper.
Oh, I only
if
saw Whopper.
only in the show there had something to do with.
I wonder if there's some
burgers.
reason they can't call it a Krabby Patty.
I will say they did a yellow bun. They're encroaching on Wendy's territory.
They are.
Oh, wow.
It's a pretty patty.
Pretty patty.
Incredible.
Somebody eat it.
Nasty patty.
He killed the health inspector.
Get it? No, get it with. Oh.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wait, Dan. Can you get a shot of when Charlie goes to bite it? And you do like the,
Oh yeah, that's the Squidward.
A lot of lettuce.
Can you taste the yellow?
Can you taste the plankton?
I did a little sleight of hand there. Call back to the episode. There's pickles under my tongue.
Oh, nice.
Got the pickles.
Can I have a napkin? I made a mess.
Brr. One whole pickle was too much for me. It's good.
That is a Whopper.
It's a Whopper.
What is it? A good Whopper?
No, it's a Krabby Patty.
I don't like onions.
It's fine.
You like Krabby Patties, don't you, Charlie?
I do.
It's just a Whopper with a yellow bun.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, at least.
At least they tried a little bit.
Yeah.
They did. You know what? We gotta have positive reinforcement here.
It is an effort to do something new.
And I'll say, effort on their part is new.
Yes.
They've never tried before. They're trying.
You're right. You're right. That is Burger King with all neurons activated.
Yeah. Keep going in that direction, and they took our advice again and made more poppable food.
Yeah. Oh, there's one more in here if anyone wants it. No.
They really understand poppable food.
Yeah.
Their chicken fries and all the other popular
The bacon cheese bites.
Jalapeno bites.
Yeah.
And then we have the real star of the show. No pun intended.
That was a good one.
I didn't mean to do that.
That was unlucky.
That was very unlucky. Let's see.
Strawberry.
You got this.
They've bested me again. How the fuck are you supposed to
Let's
open
see it.
this?
Let's see it.
Not eaten a pie before from
I have. It won't open.
on the side. You have to do both sides. Matt, come on.
The pies I buy only have one side.
What are you talking about?
One-sided pies. They're a hot commodity.
Oh, that looks good.
You got it there.
Oh, it's pink on the bottom.
That looks yummy.
Have you guys heard the new Ice Spice SpongeBob song?
Yeah, big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy.
Big guy pants.
Big guy pants. Okay.
That's literally
Yeah.
the chorus.
Yep. Big guy pants okay.
What's happening?
Big guy pants.
What is happening?
Okay.
It's actually unbelievable.
In a good way?
No.
It's fucking terrible.
I have
Listen
to.
to it real quick.
Yeah, I cannot imagine what the executives were like. Yeah, let's run it.
That
This
is-
is the song.
It's
Self-produced. What do you mean?
No, it is literally like what
Nice.
Aaron and I would do as a joke, like if we were doing like a track together.
It sounds like she's reading the lyrics for the first time as she's performing.
Is this it?
I don't remember the intro. I need to.
That sounds like it. That sounds like it.
Really help, identify it.
Stop playing with it, dog.
Stop playing with him, right? Thank God. SpongeBob. It's okay. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And then
SpongeBob Big Guy
the
Pants.
verses, man. They're,
Oh, I haven't heard
they're
them.
something
Oh
else.
yeah, they're pretty good.
They're honestly like, she's a lyrical genius.
Does she talk about shit?
No, I was very disappointed. I looked for it.
That's her bread and butter.
I know. No diapers, no diarrhea, no Miss Poopy Pants. Nothing.
Oh, it's because it's Big Guy Pants now.
Yeah, it's big guy pants.
Yep.
Big guys don't poop their pants.
You guys are just upset you didn't think of it first.
We probably did.
To
be fair. We probably quoted that before. This is basically whipped cream.
Yeah, it's just. It is
To be
fundamentally
honest,
just whipped
there's a little bit of pink stuff at the bottom, but I think the pink stuff is pink whipped cream. I'll do one more bite.
It's not the pink sauce? Pink sauce lady?
No.
I mean, it's
there
strawberry
strawberry
whipped
adjacent?
cream.
Oh.
Gosh. It's not bad, it's just useless.
Yeah, it's just a very. It's not really a pie.
Do you think they really couldn't even have made this into like a star shape?
Why would they? Genuinely, why? I would wonder. Genuinely wonder how many people saw this collab coming out and be like, "Oh my god, I have to go get a fucking SpongeBob Burger King meal ASAP." Like, there's probably such a small sliver of people that give a shit in the first place.
I bet you there are people that collect like every single collab.
For sure.
That I
I think
believe.
how small that sample size has to be.
Yeah.
I would be so curious to see the numbers on how many of these they sell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If you collect Burger King merch, can you just send us a message?
Yeah.
I'd like to talk with you.
And also stop that.
I also wonder what it's like at the initial meeting where they're like, we got the SpongeBob collab, here's all our big ideas and everything we want to do, and then just how that every week how that changes.
The
Like,
very top, they were like, "We're gonna do a Krabby Patty," and they were like, "No."
Also, when was the Wendy's one? That was like 3 months ago.
Yeah, in the Wendy's one, they did pretty patties,
did-
right?
I think so,
Which
right?
is much
Yeah.
cooler. Hey, Zach. Yeah, they tried much harder than they normally do.
Yeah,
So
and I
props
think they
there.
did better than McDonald's.
They did. I feel you said this in the McDonald's one, which was either right before this in this video or a different video before this. They're getting so lazy. They're just
it's
going,
so crazy,
okay,
yeah.
the Grinch is on this. Go buy the Grinch meal. Like, he didn't do anything special. He's just
Well,
called
so
the
here's the
Grinch.
thing. I can almost guarantee, obviously, the market is kids.
Mm-hmm.
The kids don't care. Like, they want the SpongeBob meal. Once they've got the SpongeBob meal, it doesn't really matter what the SpongeBob
that
meal
come with
is,
a
I
toy?
think.
No.
No toy for this.
No
This
toy.
is not a kids meal then. There wasn't a kids meal option. I didn't see it.
Oh.
That's a big Whopper
This is-
for a kid.
I guess it is.
That would kill a
it's
kid.
for big guy.
Not even a little
For
water
big
and
guy.
some soap solution to blow bubbles?
Oh,
Yeah.
It's a layup, guys.
It's disheartening. The only one who consistently puts crazy effort in is actually Wendy's.
Yeah, more or less.
I feel like everything they've done, they give you 3 changed items that they try on.
I will say, yeah, they changed their items, but I'd also say in the same way that Burger King did. It's not like they change it that drastically.
That's a really good point. Burger King did exactly what Wendy's did. I
Bur-
take it back.
Burger King did basically that, just only with one color.
I feel like this
Horse
was a good amount of effort.
Yeah.
They just missed, like, or just have never seen the show.
I'm going to try something new. I'm going to be constructive.
Yeah.
The food was good. Like the fucking chicken bacon busters and the
I liked those.
Yeah, the jalapeno poppers. Those were good. And
They...
the Whopper, if you like that, I mean that's good for you. I guess.
I'm realizing something. I explained that they're good at poppers and fry shape.
Yeah.
They're good at frying things.
Yeah.
When you give them something to put in a deep fryer, it's yummy.
Yeah, they can fry that shit up.
They should have fried this pie.
They should have. Yep.
Patrick Starr's fried pie.
Except for their chicken sandwiches. Was not the one that you could open like a
That
box.
one sucks.
Oh, yeah, that was
Yeah.
bad.
That one
was
sucks.
bad.
All right, I go back to it's got to be handheld shape.
Yeah, that was bad. Yeah.
All right, I would give this better than normal.
Yeah, this as far as Burger King options go, you get a lot of decent tasting stuff.
And the tummy ache.
Well, I don't have that yet, but it was good. I just wish if you're gonna do a collab, at least make it exciting. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
The most defeated way possible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I've seen companies out there doing really cool collabs, like that Cheeky Soap Company.
Yeah, they do some good stuff.
I think they did what, like Solo Leveling and Chainsaw Man, and man, they hit it out of the park.
The new movie just came out.
The Cheeky Soap movie?
The Chainsaw Man movie.
Oh, the Chainsaw Man movie, not the Cheeky
To
Soap
celebrate
movie.
the Cheeky Soap collab, they released a whole movie.
Yeah, that was crazy. Boy, did they have to work fast on that one. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Burger King.
Thanks, but we should do a Burger King soap collab.
Oh man, that'd be so cool.
This
The
soap
Whopper.
tastes like shit.
No, except Burger King is giving other people the soap. Like, it's reverse of what you would think. Like, you guys aren't doing Burger King soap. Burger King is doing cheeky, like a cheeky collab.
We should approach SpongeBob. Now I'm just riffing. Sorry. We should approach SpongeBob about doing a SpongeBob Burger King meal soap.
So here's the thing. I think SpongeBob has been licensed out to so many people. It's not exciting at all.
I agree. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah, I literally just don't think it's exciting.
I think to Aaron's point, Wendy's. I mean, I think it was a year ago.
No,
I was legitimately not a year ago.
it was.
Well, we
actually
did that
a
one at
handful
the
of months.
warehouse.
No, we never did it.
No, I think you guys. I remember you guys discussing if you wanted to do it here or at the
That's
warehouse.
right. And we never did it.
Shit.
Huh.
Missed opportunity. Yeah, it's being with two major fast food chains that quickly is just insane.
Why do babies come into this world crying? A question that's plagued inquisitive minds for generations. But I have the answer. I believe babies are born crying because they know that they will now have to share oxygen with Pokemon scalpers. And that is definitely worth shedding tears over. Also, they probably know that all their toys are going to be purchased by these fucking losers and flipped on Facebook Marketplace and eBay, so they'll never even get a chance to play with hobbies that are literally designed for them, but have been hijacked by these awful, degenerate losers. Another day, another big load of spit that I gotta fucking hawk the loogies on at scalpers.
Why don't you just hell out and have one, dude? He's literally like asked you so politely, like.
Yeah, sure. You want this one? You really do? Yeah, you do. Yeah.
He just wants the pouch. But no, now you gotta buy it because you just did that. No, leave it there. Because he just did that thing. There you go.
You know why? Because I opened this. I collect this. Yeah, I didn't do it. Okay, then buy it.
Oh, you can. You have all of them.
That guy's nose grew 50 inches with that big lie that he told. My left butt cheek, that guy's a collector. He's a scalper. And there is so much ill will towards scalpers, rightfully so, that now they have to always try and hide behind, I'm a collector! Don't worry, I'm a good guy! I'm collecting all of this product. But everyone knows that's not the truth. Just look at this fucking goober. Look at the way that he lashes out because someone had the audacity to ask for one of the Pokemon products that this guy is hoarding. And so then he just starts crumpling it up like toilet paper and giving it to him like, okay, there, you can buy that, buster. Then when the guy understandably says, no, this is stupid now, you've ruined it, I'm not going to pay full price for something that is completely ruined now because of your temper tantrum, the guy takes it back, he's like, well, I will purchase it because I am a collector, pinky out. Like, bullshit, man. No sane person is going to be paying full price for something that is completely destroyed. He's just trying to make a whole song and dance out of this performance. I'm a collector, so the condition doesn't really bother me. And that's just not true. If I crumpled up all of the Pokemon product around you and then charged you full price for it, would you do it with a smile on your face, Mr. Big Shot Collector? I doubt it, buddy. It's so fake, man. He is a scalper. No legitimate normal collector or someone that's buying it for their kids is going to take the entire stock of Target and Walmart Pokemon product. That is exclusively behavior from these degenerate worm scalpers.
Hey! Scalper, no scalping. Scalper, no scalping. Scalper, no scalping.
I'm not normally one to get behind TikTok trends, but this one, I gotta tell you, put a smile on my face. Just taking the Pokemon product from scalpers' carts. Hey, You're not going to get any fist wiggling from me over that behavior. Because these scalpers truly think that because they put it in their shopping carts, it's theirs now. They planted the flag and now it's theirs, and you're stealing from them if you take one of those products. Which is just goofy. That is just not true at all. In fact, you can make a much stronger argument that these assholes are actually stealing from the rest of the community that wants to get product either for their kids, for themselves. Unfortunately, that's more uncommon than saber-toothed tigers. That shit is fucking extinct right now because the only people that get their hands on Pokemon product from like Walmart and Target are these scalpers because they literally camp out and wait overnight for it on every restock and every drop. These unemployable, loveless losers literally wait hours overnight just to be the first in the door to get their hands on a couple of boxes of Pokemon product to ensure that nobody that actually wants to engage with the hobby can get it. It is just these scalpers, but even still, I got no issue with someone going in there and taking a box of Pokemon product right out from their grubby, greedy little paws there in their shopping carts, because there should be buy limits in place, and I'm pretty sure there are in most places, but they circumvent that and wipe their ass with the rules because scalpers just do anything they can to hoard Pokemon product. So this guy's done 2 videos like this. This one made me laugh the hardest because the guy chases him down and fucking slips and falls. I don't know if the TikToker dropped the banana peel Mario Kart style and just had him spin out and eat shit, but he was feeling it, man. He had his like head buried down, walking slow over the cart afterwards too. It actually gave me a bit of a belly laugh there. And it's not just that TikToker that's doing it. Other scalpers are now getting in on that action of just taking from other scalpers' carts. It's pure fucking pandemonium. That reminds me, have you seen that scalper clip of the guy who grabs a box right from the employee before they stock it, and then once he reaches the counter, he begs another scalper for one-piece TCG packs? I have not seen that one. That sounds on par for pathetic scalper behavior, though.
Nice. Oh, but you cannot do that. Come on.
What do you mean? I'm gonna pay. I'm gonna buy it.
Oh, buddy.
I'm gonna pay for it.
Okay, you're not allowed to take that box.
Okay,
You
can I?
can get what you want inside it, but you can't take the box.
All right. Yo, could you not touch my? Yo.
Can you not? This guy has the gall. Can you not touch my box? Brother, you just took this off of the employee's dolly. And now all of a sudden he's claiming ownership of it. What a loser. Normalize taking shit from scalpers.
First come, first serve, bro.
Yeah, but I was there first.
Bro. Watch yourself, bro.
Watch yourself, bro. I can hear this guy's a dweeb. Watch yourself. What are you gonna do? Cry to mommy about it? The chutzpah. Wow. What a dork.
You have to make the purchase. I do the purchase.
Fucking insane. This guy already got everything.
So insane.
Bro, you gon'.
Oh wow.
Ooh, you.
It's so crazy how many scalpers are just unapologetically doing this shit, man. Ugh. I haven't seen one in the wild yet, but I imagine it's because I go to Walmart in the afternoon. These fucking vultures are there in the morning. The second restock happens. But to just go from like the restock over here to just another scalper with a whole cart full of product.
Some packs of One Piece?
I only got 6 here, man.
No way.
Sorry.
Can I get one ETB?
No, I need them all.
Oh, just one.
2, 4, there's for it. Seriously.
Man. Ooh, it's so cringe. Ah, it's so pathetic. His day is ruined. How can you be so mean? I know he wouldn't share his product with the other scalper, dude. What? No honor among thieves? What kind of madness? He's violating scalper code. I like how this guy says, I need them all. I only have 6. I miss being able to actually participate in my hobby. Haven't gotten a single card in months. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, bro. Blame these losers. I heard the more Pokemon you scalp, the worse your hairline gets. Was this craze still from the COVID era? TCGs blew up during COVID, but no. You can't blame this on, like, the COVID hysteria around cards. This is truly just the state of, like, everything. It's not just cards. There's scalpers for literally everything. Fucking Nitos, Burger King collabs, McDonald's collabs, Popeyes collabs, everything. That one was extraordinarily stinky. I could actually smell the fumes coming from the cameraman scalper here. Just listening to him speak was painful. He's in like a perpetual fugue state as he's bouncing around trying to grab Pokemon product to scalp. And then he runs into a bigger scalper. As Qui-Gon Jinn said, there's always a bigger fish. And then he starts groveling, begging for some One Piece cards. And then that fucking twerp is like, I only got 6. I can't part with any of these. I only got a measly 6. And then the rest of his card is littered with Pokemon. So you know no normal family is actually going to be able to get their hands on it because it's been cleaned out already first thing in the morning from these assholes. And of course, it's not slowing down. Some places are enforcing limits, others aren't. There needs to be limits in place. They need to stand by them. I promise you, the inventory will still move. You will still have Pokemon products flying off the shelves, even with a limit in place. You can just see the mile-long lines that are building every place that does have limits, so you can at least do the bare minimum of ensuring these scumbags can't just make off with the entirety of the inventory themselves. At least you can spread it out, and maybe there's a slim chance that an actual collector or family gets their hands on some. Limits should be normal when it comes to these products because it's just completely fucking out of control from all these scalpers that are sweeping like a plague. Anyway, just needed to clown on them again. That's really about it. So, yeah. The Stranger Things series finale just aired. 10 years, 5 seasons. The journey is now concluded. I didn't make a review after Volume 2 dropped. I made one after Volume 1. I had a hot take people didn't quite like, perhaps a little too spicy. I thought it was a pretty underwhelming start. Volume 2 rolls around and people are singing a little bit of a different tune there. I thought it was even weaker than Volume 1. Since the finale aired, I'm going to give you my all-encompassing review of the Stranger Things Season 5. So with Volume 2, I thought it introduced even more ass pulls. So now all of a sudden, Mama Wheeler is a superhero. She like instantly overcomes her injuries, and as they're being chased by the Demogorgon dogs, the Demo dogs, Robin, Lucas, and Max are in a laundry room in the hospital after the Demo dogs have annihilated some soldiers. And while there, he is still playing Kate Bush to try and help Max back to the corporeal realm. And as they're taking cover by a washing machine, the Demo dogs are scouring the area. It's 3 of them. And they're looking around as slow as possible. They're moving slower than I would if you fed me fucking 15 shots of absinthe. Like, it is unbelievable how slow they're moving. Robin even makes a mention to Lucas, like, hey, turn off that fucking Kate Bush. We gotta pipe down here real quick or we're gonna die. And he's like, nope. So he doesn't. The Kate Bush is still playing. Somehow this doesn't alert the dogs in any way, shape, or form to their location. Maybe they're huge Kate Bush fans and didn't want to interrupt the track. Or maybe they're completely deaf. But as the dogs get closer, that's when Mama Wheeler pops in, because she had actually booby-trapped one of the washing machines. She put an explosive in there, and as the washing machine starts, all 3 dogs all of a sudden get alerted to it, I'm guessing by sound, so they're not fully deaf, and then they're just watching the washing machine complete its cycle with the explosive in there, blows up, kills all 3, Mama Wheeler saves the day. And literally, like 2 episodes ago, we just saw that she can't really move and she literally can't speak. But in this episode, not only can she move and speak, but she is like the fucking Terminator and even has a full conversation about how she needs to get her daughter back. So I guess she has Wolverine's healing factor now, I suppose. But that's just indicative of my main complaint of this season, where everything just happens with no real explanation for how that's even possible for it to be happening in that way. Everything is just so fucking convenient, and there is such a complete disregard for stakes anymore because everyone is basically immortal. We're going to be getting into spoilers here for the finale now, so big spoiler warning. I thought for sure in the finale this is where it was going to get dark, like they had hinted at so many times about there's going to be like dark Christmas for Stranger Things, that kind of thing. And still, even in the finale, nobody dies except for one character they brought back, which was Elle's sister, who we hadn't seen since season 2 in the most hated episode in the entire fucking history of the series, basically. Well, second only to the conclusion of Volume 2, I suppose. So a character we don't know, can't really care about, who had very little screen time in the season, is the one they decided to kill as the emotional moment. But there was just a complete reluctance here from the writers to actually kill off characters that would have made sense to kill off in that moment for like a whole completed character arc, and to remind the audience that this is an intense situation. This is, life or death scenarios. It's not Weenie Hut Jr. Previous seasons, they had no problem doing that. Killing off Eddie in last season, for example. I thought they executed that very well. It was emotional. But in this season, they almost kind of make his death a joke. Like, it really feels worthless because the Upside Down is no longer a scary enemy in and of itself. The Upside Down is basically just going to the park, except it's dark and cloudy. That's it. Those bats that annihilated Eddie, that he sacrificed himself trying to save everyone with those bats, they're not even here. They don't exist anymore. I guess the bats were so impressed with his courage that they all killed themselves. I mean, you could make a leap saying, like, the military went in and wiped them all out. Maybe, I guess. That's not something they showed. Or you could talk about, like, Vecna's pseudo-defeat, maybe having all the bats go extinct. I guess, maybe. But even still, that choice to no longer have, like, actual enemies or terror in the Upside Down takes so much wind out of its sails. You can literally just fucking spring break there. And they spend most of the season doing that in the Upside Down. I just don't like how afraid they were to kill off characters, or even really put them in scenarios of peril where you thought they might die. There was only like one or two moments where I thought, oh, this character's going to die here, and then they didn't. And I don't want this to get twisted because you don't have to have characters dying left and right in order to make it a compelling emotional story. But Stranger Things, across 4 seasons, did use that as a very effective tool in this universe. So to have it all of a sudden no longer be present in any way, shape, or form, it feels underwhelming, especially for what's supposed to be the gloves coming off final season finale that we've been building to for a fucking decade. And it just felt so easy for them to do exactly what they wanted, everything falling exactly how they needed it to according to plan. And if things were a little cattywampus out of whack, it was like that to fix it. It just felt so simple for them. So I just leave feeling underwhelmed. Now, of course, everyone was talking about and making fun of Volume 2's final episode with Will, taking control of Vecna and turning his head saying, run, that kind of thing. And also the Will coming out scene, a lot of people were clowning on that for being not very great, especially compared to how they handled similar subject matter in the previous season, where they turned it into like a basically Avengers in-game moment, or like Lord of the Rings and my axe, that kind of thing. It does just feel like season 5 felt very rushed in its writing, where they knew what points they wanted to hit, and they kind of just threw caution to the wind to getting to those points in the plot. Like the Mind Flayer being brought back into the fold. I actually like that explanation for how the Mind Flayer played into Vecna and how they were basically, in this symbiotic relationship with one another. Mind Flayer maybe controlling Vecna, but actually not really. Vecna, Henry, he agreed with everything he was shown there, and they are one entity. Very cool, considering we were all led to believe that it was Henry controlling the Mind Flayer. I thought that was cool. We get a little bit of Henry's backstory, which was all right. I didn't love his backstory all that much, but it was decent. What I did really like was the explanation for what the Upside Down is, being a wormhole. I thought that was great. I thought that was a very cool explanation, and it did add a lot to the finale, where it's like his plan is to merge the Abyss, which is where, Henry was blasted, banished to the fucking Shadow Realm in the back rooms, sent him there, and then that wormhole ties into Elle's origins. And now that connects Abyss and Hawkins, and the plan is to bring the Abyss and merge it with our dimension, our world, and they have to stop that. I thought that was all very cool. I really liked that. I don't think it was all bad or anything like that. There are some things I liked. I thought there were even some great moments in the season. But on the whole, it just feels like a lot of it was super rushed. And overall, I find it to be the weakest season in the franchise. And being the series finale, the final season, that just leaves me feeling a little underwhelmed. All I'm saying, just a little disappointing, because some characters that we had watched for 4 seasons prior, barely had anything to do in this season. For example, Joyce and Jonathan, it feels like they're not even related anymore. I don't think there is a single moment in this season where Joyce and Jonathan even spoke to each other in anything that resembles like, love or family. Whereas before, that was a very fleshed out relationship, and now all of a sudden they're fucking strangers to one another. They just brought in so many characters into the fold that some of them that we had followed for a decade just didn't have a whole lot to do and just didn't do fucking anything, really. And one of the main characters in Season 5, Holly, is a character that had nothing to do for the previous 4 seasons, but now has more screen time than I think any other individual character from the main cast. So that's just kind of like a weird decision to make, where now all of a sudden you're bringing in yet another character in an already jam-packed series of characters that now we're spending most of the time with and kind of sidelining the others, putting them on the bench. Just, it felt like an odd direction to take it. I don't think Holly was like a bad character, and the arc she goes on with being kidnapped by Henry and everything, I thought was a pretty compelling piece to this season. But I also don't think it necessitated that much screen time and that much focus, which was taken away from the rest of the crew, who then, when we see them, they've basically solved all the problems and are in position now to execute their plan, and you're left wondering, well, how the fuck did we even get to this point? You know what I mean? Those are kind of like my broad strokes impressions of Season 5 as a whole, but I want to talk specifically now about the finale, because I liked the finale much more than most of the episodes of this season. But that's not to say it's perfect, and I want to get the complaints on the finale out of the way right now. The biggest complaint I have is just how easy it was to defeat Vecna and the Mind Flayer. They look like actual chumps. You build this up, these two big bad entities, for so long, and we have seen them be somewhat defeated in the past, but now we see them in like prime shape. This is them at their most powerful, and they are easily disposed of, especially the Mind Flayer. Very cool looking enemy in the Abyss. They make the Mind Flayer look hype as fuck. But the Mind Flayer is defeated by the team deciding we need one person to be bait, which is Nancy, who has become basically like a G.I. Joe super soldier. She's killed like a bunch of people now. She's an elite marksman killing everyone, so she's going to be the bait to shoot the Mind Flayer and have it chase her to a cliffside where the rest of the team is going to ambush it. And they come up with this plan while they are being cornered and chased by the Mind Flayer, meaning that they only have like maybe a minute at most, but more than likely like 45 seconds to somehow have Nancy be bait for the Mind Flayer without getting caught, this giant creature, and the rest of the crew is going to scale an entire mountainside, get to the top in like a minute, and then start like peppering it from up there. Break. And then they do it. Instantly they do it. Nancy outruns it, gets to the entrance to the cliffside. Everyone's already on top. I guess they fucking teleported it up there, or maybe they had really great climbing gear or free climbed it extremely fast. But they're all up at the very tippy top, throwing Molotov cocktails and flamethrowers at the Mind Flayer. Mind Flayer just eats it, just fucking tanking it like, ow, ow, ow. It doesn't like fight back. It doesn't have any special moves or anything that it uses. Dustin and Steve go under and start fucking jabbing it with their spears. And that's how they're able to stop the Mind Flayer. While inside 11 is in a psychic battle with Henry, Vecna, and it's very easy for her to beat him. Because, of course, there's a hive mind, so as they're hurting the Mind Flayer, Henry's getting hurt too, but I don't know, it just felt like extremely easy. Like, very easy. She just kind of, like, ragdolls him a couple times, and then, like, he fights back a little bit, kinda, and then he pushes him onto a spike with the help of Will, who's, like, impeding his ability to fight back super well. But I don't know, man. You build up for all this, and then it's that easy to defeat them. It just, I don't know, it just, like I said, feels just a little underwhelming is all. And my other big complaint is the military here. They're just like the evil presence that wants to just make more psychic soldiers, so they want to kidnap Elle, and that's all they really care about. So after they saved the day, prevent the Abyss from crashing through, as they're escaping, the military was aware of their plan because they were able to, intercept the others, put it all together. They ambushed them. Big burp, huge belch. And while ambushing them, that's where Elle makes like the heroic sacrifice. And then fast forward 18 months, the military's completely left Hawkins, and all of the characters are back to life as normal. Excuse me? Nancy herself mowed down like 6 soldiers we saw, like from the top of a truck. She just kills like 6 dudes. Hopper killed probably like fucking 40 of them. Like, a lot of soldiers died as a result of our team here that we follow. And I mean like directly killed by them. Shot. Murdered. Like, not an accident where like a piece of debris fell on them. I mean like deliberately they were killed by them. And yet the military just lets them go. I was shocked to see that. I thought there'd be like an explanation where like, in order to prevent the secrets from getting out, they felt obligated to let them go, sworn to secrecy or something. No, nothing like that. Even after losing so many soldiers, even after a multi-billion-dollar plan here with the psychic program and all of this military personnel that is now dead, all of the destroyed equipment, everything ruined, the military still just lets them go. What the fuck? I was so confused. But again, that's what I'm saying. It just feels like a lot of it's just for the sake of convenience with no real explanation. It just feels rushed. Like, that's crazy to me that after all of that, they just immediately like release them. There's not even a mention of them like spending time in jail or something and reaching some kind of deal. They're just instantly free to go. Like, after Elle sacrificed herself, I guess Dr. K was like, well, time's up. And then just said, all right, hey, scram. We're going to go ahead and leave now. Nothing more to be done here. Unless I missed something, but I don't think I did. And even if I did, I really can't think of any explanation where they'd be like, oh yeah, all those soldiers you killed and everything that you've done here that was highly illegal, that led to so much death and so much destruction, we're okay with that. We're just gonna leave and, let bygones be bygones. That was weird. That was just weird, is all. And I don't want to harp too much on the negatives because, like I said, there were a lot of things I liked about it. But man, come on, for the final fight, it is over in less than 10 minutes and not a single Demogorgon? Like, you're fighting on their home turf. Not a single bat, not a single Demogorgon. It's just Vecna, just Mind Flayer, and they just get fucking slammed. They get their hams steamed instantly by the team here. Like, come on. It just felt like such a weak final fight. Like, it wasn't climactic. Like, the actual death of Vecna, I thought they did great. Like, after he's defeated, everything that happened after he died, I thought was solid. Basically, everything once Vecna died, and, well, excluding the stuff with the military, I thought was handled well. Like, I love Joyce being the one to deliver the final blow to Vecna. I love seeing how awful Vecna was to the cast. Every traumatic experience they went through, having a flashback to it, having seen all of these horrible, irredeemable things that Henry was responsible for before Joyce delivering the final blow, I thought they nailed. But not having like a real, like, intense final fight just weakens that experience. And to have the Abyss, this new area, this new planet that we are told is the home turf where all the Demogorgon, bats, all the nasty, evil shit lives. This is their home turf. You're expecting it to be salty spittoon, crazy, scary. But then you get there, all of our heroes get there, it is completely empty. A barren wasteland, more empty than a fucking Blockbuster. Not a single iota of life to be found outside of them instantly going to Vecna and the Mind Flayer. There is nothing else there that impedes them on their journey. It just feels super rushed. Now, I want to get to some of the things I liked here about the final episode. As I said, post Vecna death, I really liked how they handled the characters and where they went from there. The epilogue I actually thought was solid, though I do think it dragged quite a bit. I feel like they killed Vecna pretty early on, and then it was like an hour worth of epilogue, so maybe that was a bit much. But I think overall, they did a good job handling the end of these characters in Hawkins and what that looks like. So seeing, Dustin being valedictorian and giving a really inspirational speech to everyone about, the chaotic good, tying it into Dungeons and Dragons, which, is part of the show's DNA. I thought they handled that great. I thought it was a really good speech. Dustin then moving on to become big bookworm, but still, making time to see his best buddy Steve and Lucas and Max, them just, falling deeper in love over time, having their happily ever after. Will moving to a new area, finding more friends, finding a partner, being accepted. Mike wanting to use his talent for storytelling in order to share the heroic journey of his friends and his party and what that means in the context of like D&D storytelling. It ending with him watching Holly and her friends now playing D&D in that basement because now he and his friends have grown up. Now it's the next generation's turn. Like, I do think they did a good job with the epilogue. Steve, Robin, Jonathan, Nancy, where all they ended up at, 18 months after everything, where they have their own jobs, their own lives, but they want to make times to still see each other because they're never going to find friends like what they have. But they also don't want to be in Hawkins anymore. You have Joyce and Hopper looking to start fresh, move. He gets a new job, proposes, they're getting married. Like, it's all very touching. I think they did a good job with the emotional beats to wrap up the characters. Now it's time to yap about the big twist with Elle. So, as the military is ambushing them, trying to take Elle after they've saved the world, so that way they can get their psychic program off the ground, seems like, that's checkmate. And then Elle somehow was able to escape their clutches, and she sacrifices herself right in front of everyone. That moment was then undercut with a big twist when Mike revealed that he actually had a theory that wasn't Elle. That was an illusion from Elle's sister. With Elle's sister's dying breath, she made the illusion of Elle getting swallowed by the wormhole's collapse. That way everyone, including her friends, including her father, Hopper, believed she was dead, so that way she could go live a peaceful life off the grid, away from any threats of the military. So Elle is still alive. That's his theory. And it's an interesting idea as a twist. However, in Mike's own theory, he even says, how was she able to, cast that final spell while being suppressed? Because when they're being captured by the military, they had the psychic suppression system activated, meaning she can't use her powers. The entire season has showed she cannot use her powers, and even in the big reveal moment, she is struggling to escape, not using her powers or anything at all as she leaves. However, there's a huge fucking plot hole here where Elle was somehow able to drag Mike into the void to have their final goodbye and their final kiss. How was Elle able to do that while being suppressed by this military equipment? I guess you could say while she was escaping, she got far enough away that it stopped being effective on her. But I don't think she had enough time to do that. So there's a glaring plot hole that they even point out, how did she cast a spell while being suppressed? That doesn't make sense. And then, when giving the explanation for how that was possible, they still had her use her powers through the suppression with Mike being pulled into Elle's mind with her. That's still her using her ability, right? Through the suppression system. So, there's still question marks for how that would be possible. Mike's theory, it does sound plausible if you forget about the suppression system being active at the time. I'm sure Hop would have told him about Callie's death, so this would be something that he could start to rationalize as maybe they had this secret plan together. The twist as an idea, I think, is cool, and it does make sense with, Hopper's speech being so emotional and having Callie hear that, her wanting to maybe do something to save Elle's life so that way she can go live the life that, she's always wanted and always deserved, being able to live peaceful, happy, that kind of thing. But I don't think they were able to really pull it off in a way that makes sense because you just have to forget how things have already been established in order for this to work. Also, the lab blew up way before Elle was taken away, and that's where Callie was in Mike's theory, projecting this illusion of Elle. So when it blew up, that should have also fucking evaporated the illusion too, because Callie would have died there way before Elle did, yet the illusion was still there. It persisted. So there's just multiple things about it, this theory, that don't really work when you stop to think about it. Now, there is an explanation I've seen people say that I think kind of makes sense here, that it's a coping mechanism for Mike. This is how he's going to accept what happened and move on, by making up this happily ever after for Elle, even though it's not the reality of it. I think that makes a little more sense, where that didn't happen. That is just, a story that he's telling that brings him and the rest of the party comfort, believing Elle is out there, having her happily ever after as well. But the reality is, she did sacrifice herself there in that moment. I think that makes more sense, that this is just his story. This is what he chooses to believe, as opposed to being what actually happened. Just my overall impressions of the season are that it felt rushed, and a lot of things about it I just don't think worked, and kind of betrayed what they had set up for 4 seasons worth of build-up and emotional stakes and weight. And their reluctance to like kill any characters, I do think, was to the detriment of the season. And I really just don't understand why they kept like pretending that this was going to be like the darkest season ever. I hope you're ready to have a fucking sad Christmas with volume 2 coming around and all that. Like, I don't get that. Maybe just the big bait and switch or something, because it really is like the truest happily ever after I've ever seen to a show, to a degree where in some cases it literally just doesn't even make sense how they were able to pull it out of their ass that the characters survive. So, I won't yap about it too much. It's already been like fucking 20 minutes. It wasn't a bad finale by any means. Like, I do think there were quite a few things to like about it. But the season as a whole, I think, is definitely the weakest. I think they really wanted to wrap this up, and so they kind of speed ran a lot of things with it, which just is a little disappointing. Anyway, though, that's really about it. So, yep. I've got to yap about 2 freaks today, and I want to start with the wackiest one. RFK Jr. and a dead raccoon's penis. That is a match made in heaven right there. That is peanut butter and jelly. Vultures don't get as excited about roadkill as RFK Jr. does. This guy loves it. And he brags about having like a freezer full of roadkill that he studies and like feeds to his hawk. I had no idea this guy was a cock scientist. I didn't know that. But in his new book, he just openly talks about the time that he pulled over with his family in the car, mind you, his kids in the car, pulled over in order to cut the penis off of a dead raccoon so he could bring it back and analyze it. As if he's some kind of like archaeologist. Like he's fucking Evie from The Mummy going through like the Book of the Dead trying to research it and learn about it as if he's some kind of scholar for dick. Animal dick. It's all documented in his new book, RFK Jr., The Fall and Rise. I don't know when the rise is happening. It hasn't happened yet. He's still in that fall. This dude looks like he's housing every single plague that the world has ever seen in his body right now. Every image and video I see of him, he looks like he's deteriorating further and further and just devolving into a fucking ghoul from Fallout. This is the experience here that he pinned. I was standing in front of my parked car on I-684, cutting the penis out of a road-killed raccoon, thinking about how weird some of my family members have turned out to be. A surreal passage indeed. I like how he's cutting the penis off of a roadkill raccoon in front of his probably horrified children in the car, and he's like, God, my family is so peculiar. They're such odd goofballs. They're so weird. Over there with the fucking hacksaw on the raccoon's cock. If only they could be more like me, just normal and well-adjusted. There we go. And then he holds it up like a trophy. We're celebrating, family. Quick, get some ice out. I gotta put this on ice. I need to study it when we get home. My kids waited patiently in the car, he noted, as he collected the raccoon's genitals so he could study them later. Finally, a man brave enough to go where science fears. He was willing to do the dirty work of snipping a raccoon's dick so he could take it home and really find out what makes it tick. Like, I'm curious, what is there to study with a raccoon penis? Like, what is there to do with that? What was he doing, just over there, like, playing with it? Stretching it like a penny whistle? Write it down. Interesting. These are the notes that will, no doubt, propel our species into the next scientific age, the final frontier of science. Raccoon genitals. Excellent, yes. I just have to wonder what he was doing with it. Like, was he trying to like fashion some kind of necklace out of it, like Ringar out of League of Legends, but instead of bone tooth, it's just raccoon penis? Or like, was he trying to make a stew out of it? Maybe he was like, crafting Saradomin brews out of RuneScape, just dumping the raccoon penis in there with some colloidal silver, just like this disgusting concoction, this witch's brew, this potion. Like, what was he doing with it? Genuinely, like, what was he doing? Because he traveled all the way home with it. So this was like an important thing that he did. And this is apparently something that he made a habit out of doing with dead animals. Dude pillages roadkill like he's Indiana Jones looting a tomb full of treasure. Just imagine hunting with RFK Jr. Dude probably doesn't even bring a gun. He just sits there in the bush waiting for the animal to get hit by like a bus or a train. Then he leaps into action. Yes! Yanks the wiener off of it. According to his daughter, this obsession with dead animals also put a damper on vacations. Apparently there was an incident where a whale carcass washed ashore, and so RFK made a beeline for the beach and decapitated it with a chainsaw and strapped the whale's head to the roof of the family minivan with a bungee cord, intending once again to bring it home to study. Every time we accelerated on the highway, whale juice would pour into the windows of the car, and it was the rankest thing on the planet. Sounds like hell on earth. He's out here torturing his family on this vacation. We all had plastic bags over our heads with mouth holes cut out, and people on the highway were giving us the finger, but that was just normal day-to-day stuff for us. Sounds healthy. And then, of course, there's the infamous one where he dumped a dead bear cub in Central Park after a botched attempt to skin it. That one's been talked about a lot. I'm pretty sure all of you have already heard of that before, but the whale and raccoon penis, I think, are new revelations here from the bizarre adventures of RFK Jr. and his fascination with dead animals. Bro thinks he's the villain from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Like, what is he doing? Is he trying to, like, breathe life back into it, like Frankenstein style? Like, what is he studying? Actually, what is he possibly studying there? Holy shit, the worm in his brain must be giving him some odd directives here, forcing him to get all of this roadkill like treasure so he can squat on it at his house like Smog. That's his gold. All of this roadkill, all this dead animal penis and heads all over the place in his secret villain lair. What a wacko. But don't worry, some highly intellectual people are out there defending this as just a lame media hit piece. The raccoon was already dead. Find a new slant. Typical lamestream media hit piece. Ah, yawn. Oh, raccoon was already dead. Penis was up for grabs. I pull over all the time when I see a dead animal. I make sure to take that cock and balls right off of there. Normal activity. Wasn't alive, so it's not weird. If it was alive and he chased it down in order to yank that puppy off, then I might raise an eyebrow, but this is just lamestream media. Who doesn't cut off a dead animal's cock on the side of the road while their family watches mortified?
Secretary, what did you do with the raccoon's dead penis? Where is it now?
That little giggle he does there, that laugh, that was some demonic sounding shit right there. That sounds like a man who can't wait to get back to that raccoon's penis that's rotting somewhere in his abode. I bet he's got that raccoon penis and like an IV drip or something that he's mainlining or some shit. This is actually the secret to keep me looking so young.
I just got one question. In all seriousness, what is your fascination with roadkill and dead animals? I know you've done a few things, notably with a whale, with a bear, with a raccoon more recently. I just want to know what the fascination is, sir. Anything? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
There goes a hero right there. Not many men are courageous enough to pull over to the side of the road and cut a raccoon's penis off after it's deceased. It wasn't using it anymore, and RFK Jr. had a need for it. And he's a man of action, so he went out there and he claimed that. Same with the whale head. And the bear cub, I suppose. We may never know exactly what he's learned through his research, but one day it may be the key to the future of our species. Or he's using it for some kind of satanic rituals or some shit that he's conducting. Could be either or. There's really no telling with this guy. But anyway, speaking of penis, we gotta talk about a penis that's alive, and one that's on a human being. And from the sound of things, he can't stop using it for evil. I'm talking about Eric Swalwell. This is a congressman who was also running for governor of California, and this week numerous women came forward accusing him of inappropriate things as well as genuinely evil, awful things, including allegations of sexual assault. Initially, Eric denied it, saying that it was all false and that he was going to do everything fighting it tooth and nail. He has since stepped down from the race for governor as well as his position in Congress. He has resigned. And the allegations are only having more and more evidence to support the victims and their claims against him. That includes a video of him with supposedly a prostitute that he was in a hotel room with. On the video, you can see him making out with her, and things start to progress. Now, if you don't know the lore, Eric is married. Eric has been married for a decade. Now, in the video he made denying the very serious allegations, he did make a mention of mistakes in his judgment, as well as mentioning that a lot of it's between him and his wife, and he has to accept the responsibility for mistakes he made, seemingly corroborating the extramarital affairs while denying the sexual assault allegations. All of this is still pretty new, and from what I've read, there is an investigation taking place because he might be facing criminal charges if these allegations are proven true, which he 1000% should. This is vile shit here, and from everything that I've read about it, from what's available, it's not looking like this is just some innocent guy here. There's quite a lot of meat behind these claims. Personally, I think Eric's guilty as a motherfucker here. Based on all of the available evidence here, I don't see any world where he could weasel out, just squeak out some kind of excuse like, oh, it was all just a big misunderstanding. I was just cheating on my wife a lot. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. Just come on, the sexual assault stuff. No. We don't need to get into the weeds of that. Like, based on everything I think that's out there, there is so much evidence, and I think it should 1000% warrant a further investigation into Eric and hopefully some subsequent charges based on whatever they find there. So anyway, I found that to be extremely disgusting. I was reading about that earlier, so I wanted to yap about that as well. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya. Everyone's talking about the Steam machine and soiling their britches, speculating on what the price might be, and it's been a big conversation in the gaming space that I want to weigh in on a little bit here. For those that don't know, the Steam machine is Valve's latest device, their foray into console gaming. They recently had the Steam Deck come out to great success, and now the Steam machine is their latest. It is apparently a pretty beefy piece of hardware aiming to deliver 6 times the power of the Steam Deck, capable of running games at 4K 60 FPS. Linus also recently made a video covering the Steam machine, going over a lot of its capabilities and pretty much everything about it. It is very interesting, and the community's already started calling it the Valve Gabe Cube, which I think is adorable. Don't know if the name's going to stick or not, but I do fuck with that one. But even though this does seem really exciting, people are pretty concerned with what the price on it might be. Especially because apparently Valve has said to expect the pricing to be like a PC, not a console. Which is pretty vague, but it paints a picture that it's probably going to be a little more expensive than what you're expecting when it comes to like PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo pricing, because PC prices can vary drastically. There is a lot of wiggle room there for what the price might be. I got your fucking nose, you loser. Point is, people are a little worried that this might be like a $1,500 piece of hardware or something like that, which has led to a lot of debate in the community because that is much higher than traditional console prices, to the point where why would you even bother? You could just get like a full-fledged PC as opposed to getting the Steam machine instead. And a lot of things that people were speculating is that maybe it would be subsidized because they have the Steam storefront, like the Steam Deck, for example. The Steam Deck is the price that it is because they are able to take a bit of loss on the hardware itself because they make up for it with the Steam storefront, obviously. That, however, is not apparently going to be applicable to the Steam machine. According to Linus's video, they won't be following that same model where they're going to be, able to get the price of the Steam machine lower because of the storefront or anything like that, subsidizing through that. Instead, it is just going to be priced like a PC.
A major question mark, though, is of course price. Valve wasn't able to give any specific numbers due to rapidly evolving market conditions, but they will obviously have it nailed down when the Steam machine launches in Q1 2026 alongside the new Steam controller. They did give me one hint, though. They said that while they expect it to be very competitively priced with a PC, that it will be priced like a PC, rather than like a console with games subsidizing the upfront hardware purchase.
For a lot of people, this has been the biggest alarm bell. This has been the biggest red flag. This has been the poop in the soup here that a lot of people are concerned about, because if it's not going to be subsidized through like the storefront game sales or anything like that, it is just going to be a very expensive piece of hardware. What that price looks like, we don't know, but a lot of people are saying it's kind of dead on arrival just because of that, because based on the specs and everything here, it will probably be a very expensive console. Plus, it already feels kind of niche because console gamers, they might not really be interested in just having a PC console. They would probably, if they want to do that and make that switch, they'd probably just invest in like a full PC rig. And PC gamers already have a PC, so why would they want a PC gaming console? So it's been like this weird back and forth, and we don't really have definitive answers on a lot of this speculation or anything. The only definitive answer we do have is that the best PCs in the universe come from Starforge. So if you're looking to get a better PC yourself, go to Starforge and check out the options, see if it feels right for you. But when it comes to the Steam machine itself, it feels like it's going to be made or broken by its price. 100%. More so than most things, I would say. Now, before I give my, Cro-Magnon-ass thoughts on this whole thing, I want to give you Linus explaining why he believes that there's probably not being subsidized through the Steam storefront this time around to get the price on the hardware lower.
They wouldn't say why, but if I had to guess, I'd say it's partially to avoid stepping on the margin opportunities of their potential partners for Steam games and Steam software, but also because they recognize that the Steam machine is a full-fledged PC, capable of being used as a full-fledged PC. There's no guarantee then that, say, a corporate purchase of 10,000 of these things would result in a single game sale. So they really do need to protect the sustainability of their hardware business.
That last theory there, that game theory from Linus, was very interesting to me and something that didn't cross my noodle, naturally, because I'm a fucking moron, about, there might not be game sales for a big bulk order. Like, if a corporation orders a bunch of these puppies here, that's probably not going to lead to them buying any games through the storefront, thus it's kind of moot to be subsidized through it in that case. So they're looking to protect the hardware investment itself. But, counterpoint to that, if a corporation is looking to buy 10,000 of these, why wouldn't they just buy 10,000 cheaper MacBooks? Because there are some Macs that are priced in like the $600 to $700 ballpark, to my understanding, at least from what I can find online, which is around the price of some of the consoles out there right now, where this is not going to be priced at that. This will most likely be more expensive than that. So why would they choose this over those options? I feel like this might not be the go-to for corporations. So even though the thought process isn't wrong, like if corporations do buy this, they're probably not going to be buying a fucking bunch of games out the wazoo here. But I also feel like in that case, they probably wouldn't just be buying the Steam machine in the first place for those needs. They'd probably look for other already established corporate norms of like Macs or something. So to me, I feel like the main target audience for the Steam machine would be Steam Deck owners. I feel like that'd be the primary demographic here that would be interested in purchasing it. But if the Steam machine is north of 1,000 clams, who in their right mind, save for those that maybe had just recently got a lobotomy, would actually want to pay that much money for the Steam machine when you could instead just spend that money on a more powerful PC? Like, yes, this is a pretty powerful piece of hardware, but the options in this price range, if it actually is like 1,000 plus, like a lot of doom and gloom people are saying it's going to be, the options in that range are more powerful than what you would get from the Steam machine in the first place. So if it is in that ballpark, why would anyone be buying it? You know what I mean? And I do agree with the sentiment from a lot of people that it lives in a confusing limbo where it's a little unclear, a little muddy who the actual customer is supposed to be. Because if you are already a PC gamer, this doesn't really offer anything that you'd want. You probably already have a rig far more powerful than this in the first place. How would you justify spending what could be $1,000+ on basically a tiny pre-built PC? And if you are a console-only gamer, you don't have any Steam games, you bah humbug Steam, want nothing to do with it, you don't engage in the PC gaming market, well, then you'd probably write this off as dead on arrival, rolling your eyes at the price point if it is like $1,000. Like, that probably wouldn't be enticing for someone to make this foray into PC gaming through the Steam machine. It would need to be priced much lower, priced at like a competitive console point for a console-only gamer to consider. At least I would think so. So it is in this very weird gray area. Then I think it is going to be purely dependent on what the price actually is, whether or not this is going to be like mass market adoption or something like that. But maybe that's not even the goal here. Maybe that's not even what Valve's aiming for. Maybe they're content just delivering a really niche piece of hardware. I don't really know. I'm also not convinced it is going to be $1,000+. I don't subscribe to that idea. I truly believe that the Steam Machine will be sub 1,000. On stream, I was speculating maybe up to like 800. Maybe 800 and some change, but I really don't see a world where this gets to 1,000 or over 1,000. I would be shocked if it did. Because I think it'd be very obvious to anybody out there that that is just too much for most people to want to spend on what the Steam Machine is offering. At least I would think so. I say that, but then again, fucking Apple has the iPhone Pocket, which is like $250 sock to put your iPhone in, and that sold out. So there really is just a chance for anything to be extremely successful regardless of the price and regardless of the offering. And it's not like the Steam Machine is a bad product here, but I just think it is going to be really, really dependent on the price point here, whether or not this is something that gamers will be flocking to pick up. And I am just very curious to learn more information about how it will be priced. It releases relatively soon, so hopefully we'll know in the next month or so. That'd be really nice. But yeah, it's been a very interesting conversation surrounding the Steam Machine. Like I said, personally, I don't think it's getting to $1,000 or more. I really think it's going to live in like an $800 ballpark, which is still very expensive, and that's still going to be a very tough decision for consumers to make on if that is something they want to pay. So I guess we'll see. I think time will tell. Hopefully pretty soon we'll know. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. I've recently been getting big into the UFC again. I'd always watched the big fights, and when I was in high school, I watched a lot more of it, especially GSP and Machida bouts. Lyoto Machida is my favorite fighter ever, but post-high school, I stopped watching as much and only tuned in to the big fights, and that's the way it's been for like the last 12, 15 years maybe, until recently. I've been getting more and more into the UFC, and as such, I've started hating Dana White more and more. I feel like as you pay more attention to this sport, you unfortunately have to pay more attention to this fucking fungus. Now, the obvious that everyone talks about is how he refuses to pay his fighters appropriate wages. I'm not even here to really dive into this can of worms here. I'll briefly mention it, though, that it is sickening how underpaid the athletes are in the UFC. The only ones making, like, real money are, like, the actual superstars. But, like, their starter contracts of the 12-12, 12 the show, 12 if you win, that should be criminal. Dana White should be in handcuffs right now for that kind of shit. It's fucking disgusting how underpaid UFC athletes are if they're not champions. And it's something Sean O'Malley mentioned as well, though Sean O'Malley seems perfectly content being financially cucked by Dana White because he often defends it. But Sean O'Malley was talking about the money he made as a champion being significantly different from the money he makes not being a champion, which I think most people would expect, but the difference is absurd. I think a lot of you have probably heard that UFC fighters, when they're starting out, have to still have a part-time job elsewhere. They can't do the UFC full-time. It's not until you are literally like a top 5 cream of the crop level athlete in the UFC that you can actually make livable money there, it seems. And the bonuses that they introduced are kind of just a band-aid for the problem of Dana White being too cheap to actually pay his athletes. And I also just saw reports this week that they are now no longer accommodating team travel. They're only compensating for the head coach. Another classy maneuver here from Dana Worm White, who just has to find all kinds of grubby penny-pinching schemes because we have to remember, the UFC is just a tiny little indie promotion that's merged with the fucking WWE, and the UFC only generated $1.5 billion in 2025. That's not nearly enough to satiate Dana White's gluttony. I know I said I wasn't going to fully open this can of worms, and I still haven't. This is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to UFC wages and how they just don't want to pay their fighters at all. Now, I'll go ahead and move on to some other Dana White dunk topics in recent memory here because he just keeps making a fucking fool of himself and I have to clown on him for it. But before that, I want to make a mention that I also despise the UFC-WWE merger. I am just counting down the days until Dana White falls into his K-hole and then really gets convinced that he should be more involved with the WWE, so he tries to start shoving his meat over there and strong-arming some of his ideas in place. Like, listen guys, let me pitch you on something. What about Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Undertaker in a slippery dickory match? First one to hold the other's cock for a 3 count wins. Thoughts? Because I could just see him doing some dumb shit like that. He is just a factory of zero IQ ideas and even worse execution. Anyway, though, I want to show you a clip that I just saw this morning. This is from an interview that I think is 2 months old, and I think it really showcases just how evil of a man Dana White is. Now, a little context before this clip plays. I don't think Dana White has any respect at all for his wife. A while ago, I made a video covering an incident where Dana White and his wife got into a bit of a slapping match at a New Year's Eve party in public. She had slapped Dana White, and then he responded by slapping her multiple times in public, in full view of everything. When I covered that, people were very upset with me for talking about it, and then even outright denying that it was real, that this didn't happen, this is a fucking lie. And then Dana White himself had to do like the world's smallest violin press tour about it, like, listen, don't defend me, this was bad. And I'm not trying to just regurgitate all the talking points from back then, but in the clip you can see he's already grabbing his wife when she slaps him, and then he slaps her multiple times and pushes her away. And it's not like he was in any danger here. Let's not pretend that he had just been attacked by fucking Brock Lesnar. This has been yapped about till the cows come home already. I know that. As everyone's already said numerous times, it's bad on all fronts. The slap from his wife is no good, and then the retaliation from him to slap her multiple times, also very not good. The reason why I'm bringing this up again is because after what we've seen him do publicly, like in that instance, and now what he's also now just said publicly about what he made his wife do in regards to the birth of his child to compensate his schedule, it just really feels like the most loveless, miserable marriage imaginable. It just seems fucking terrible.
My son Aiden, when she was pregnant with him, the due date was the chocolate elf fight.
Oh, Lord.
And I said to the doctor, this ain't going to work. This doesn't work for me.
Man, I don't know where this medical field medicine is at, but
so we scheduled a C-section to take him early.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So was she gonna go natural?
No.
Okay, but there was a C-section. You're like, no, we got to back this up. Like,
yeah, was she gonna go natural? What? Like go in when the baby?
Yeah.
When the baby's due, you.
Right.
Hey, the baby's due. Let's go.
But y'all did a
that was supposed to be
scheduled
Saturday on the fucking chocolate elf fight. That was the date that they pinpointed.
Right, you're like, nah, this ain't gonna happen, Jack.
It's not gonna work for
like,
me.
no, we're gonna be walking out in Vegas. Something got to change.
That's
But you
crazy.
change, okay, nah, something.
But digital detox.
He goes on to say digital detox does not exist for him. This story is just vile. Like, I don't know how anyone could hear this and walk away with a positive impression of that. He jeopardized the safety and the health of not just his wife, but also his fucking baby, so that way he could go to the Chuck Liddell fight. So he had his wife undergo a C-section early in order to compensate for his schedule so he could still make that fight. That's deplorable. And they're talking about it, like joking about it, jovial, like it's not something super serious. That's a huge deal. You're going to C-section your baby early solely so you can go to that fight. Again, that puts his wife in danger. That puts his baby in danger. That's crazy to me that anyone's looking at this as anything other than just downright evil. This is so scummy. And he's proudly talking about it like, yeah, I don't slow down. I just don't slow down. My wife knows this. I'll be going all night. She knew this getting into it. In fact, with the birth of our baby here, I even made her get a C-section early. Ha ha ha. So I can see that Chuck Liddell fight, That's, what the fuck, man? That's crazy. Ordinarily, to a sane person, the birth of your child is going to be one of the most important, most memorable, most meaningful moments of your life. But to Dana White, that's just an obstacle, because now it's potentially infringing on his ability to go watch the Chuck Liddell fight. That's how much he cares about his promotion. He needs to make sure, the birth of his child is fucking, that's peanuts. That's nothing. That's scraps. Spits on that. We're going to speed that one up. Let's get through that real quickly so that way you can go to the real thing that matters, the Chuck Liddell fight. Like, even the most diehard of UFC fans should hear this and be like, wow, that's extremely concerning. That's just genuinely fucked up. And I have seen some cope with people saying he's probably just exaggerating or kidding around. I watched most of that podcast there. He doesn't go back and say like, oh, that story I told about making my wife have a C-section to deliver our baby early for the sake of the Chuck Liddell fight so I could still participate. Oh yeah, I made that up. I pulled that out of my ass. That was just supposed to be a good goof, ha 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 moment, you know what I mean? So as far as I'm aware, this is a very real thing that happened. Something that he is very proud of, which I think is just sick. I think that is extremely twisted. And I also think it showcases his perspective on the UFC, where I believe Dana White is under the impression that people watch the UFC for him. Like, I think he believes that he is the UFC, not the fighters. And that's, I think, also demonstrated in how he pays them, or really doesn't pay them. So, him making it of, like, paramount importance that he is there for the Chuck Liddell fight, because that's what matters, is that Dana White is there for it. So he's willing to make the sacrifice of his wife's safety, the safety of the baby, jeopardizing both of their health, for the sole sake of ensuring that he can still be there, because that is what people care about. It is, I think it's just super fucked up. I truly do. And I would also imagine that most people that watch the UFC probably have the same viewpoint I do on it, which is the fighters are the ones that make the UFC, not the other way around. I think if the UFC didn't have the talent that it does with the fighters that it has, it would not be in the same state that it is. Fighters are the ones that made the UFC successful.
So I've seen a lot of fans and viewers online commenting or discussing what they perceive as a lot of AI-generated content in the broadcast that maybe wasn't in previous iterations of the UFC. Is this something that's coming with the Paramount deal, or just a new direction for the UFC, or do you have any insight on that?
What does that mean?
AI stuff, commercials, part of the promotional content, just AI in the UFC in general. I've seen fans complaining about.
Oh, yeah? What are they complaining about?
I guess I've seen people saying that the UFC should be paying artists instead of using generative AI, stuff like that.
Give me a fucking break. AI's coming, and if we're using AI, who gives a shit? People are upset about it. We should use artists. How about this? Shut the fuck up and watch the fights.
The most unsurprising statement ever uttered from a human being here. Dana White doesn't even pay the fighters. You think he cares about paying artists? Absolutely not. This fucking goober, this goddamn zombie would 1000% be using AI fighters if he could to save even more money on it. So it's not at all a shock to see him with this perspective about, like, who cares if we're not paying artists? Who cares if we're using AI? Just shut up and consume our slop. Just watch our AI and put your thumb in your mouth and be done with it. Naturally, that's what Dana White is going to say about it. And expect a lot more AI from Dana White as he starts to recognize more and more how much money he can save by just farting out AI-generated shit into the UFC programming. So don't expect that to stop anytime soon. He'll continue to go hog wild with the AI, which doesn't elevate the production or anything. It doesn't make it better. It does make it worse, but it saves Dana White money. And that's the most important thing to Dana White. There's so much more. There's just plenty I could keep poking around about when it comes to this fucking scumbag, but I've already been going here for a while yapping about it, so I'll go ahead and stop here. I do not like Dana White, but I really, really like the fighters in the UFC. It's such a fucking shame. Hopefully the day will come where they're actually paid appropriately for their talent and their hard work, but with Dana White still at the helm, I wouldn't hold my breath on it. It fucking sucks. He fucking sucks. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah. Kindness. What do you think of when you think of kindness? Good deeds? Smile on your face, helping others. Maybe you even picture some positive presence in your life, like Mr. Rogers. Well, it's time you throw out everything you think you know about kindness. You see, Darman fam, real kindness is this face. Darman is so kind that he has even accepted a formal position at the NFL to be an officer of kindness. That's right, we can all rest a little easier knowing that Darman is the NFL's first Chief Kindness Officer. Now obviously today is Super Bowl Sunday, and Darman's no doubt going to have his work cut out for him with a bunch of rowdy fans and a lot of tempers flaring based on what's happening in the big game with the pigskin. But I think Darman's up to the task of making sure everyone stays happy and kind. It's like Cupid, but instead of shooting arrows that make people fall in love, he shoots arrows that make people kind to one another. So you might see a Seahawks fan and a Patriots fan arguing, but Darman will come through, separate them, and say, "Wait! Why don't we all just get along?" And then the two of them will exchange a handshake and maybe even offer each other some money. You see the news about Darman becoming NFL's Chief Kindness Officer. I keep forgetting to look that up. But yeah, I saw Darman has been knighted by the NFL, I suppose, as the kindness officer. Let me see what that actually means.
3,
you rather have $100 for yourself or $500 to give to your teammates?
$500 to give to my teammates.
Why'd you choose your teammates?
I think they deserve it more than me.
You want to go pass it out? All right, let's do it.
Nice. Spreading kindness. Let's go.
Angazi, you deserve it, bro.
What's up, bro?
So what is I was hoping this would be an explanation on what the fuck the Chief Kindness Officer means. So he just does Mr. Beast style shorts? Now just to be clear, if he's giving away money to kids and organizations that need it on behalf of the NFL, that's fine. I don't really think you need to have a position, a label as the Chief Kindness Officer. That feels very performative and odd. But if this is something Darman wanted to do in partnership with the NFL to just give back to, like, the community or, you know, charities, I obviously had no problem with that. I just think this whole, like, Chief Kindness Officer push is very peculiar. Oh, wow, this just came up. The Super Bowl's Chief Kindness Officer had 5 felony charges. Wait, what? Darman has felony charges? It's an invented honorary position the league made up this year to promote sportsmanship, empathy, and positivity both on and off the field. Essentially, the Chief Kindness Officer is here to make sure everyone are friends and have a good time. This year's Chief Kindness Officer is Darman. In 2010, he was accused by his business partner of running what he called a hydro-Ponzi scheme when Darman pulled out of We Grow, a hydroponics cannabis business. In 2012, he was charged with 13 felony counts for defrauding an Oakland City beautification program by submitting fraud. Here, I'm going to just put this on screen. By submitting fraudulent checks that made it appear as though he was paying contractors more than he actually was. The 13 charges were reduced to 5 and he pled no contest. In 2023, this is what I remember, actors employed by Darman Studios claim they had poor working conditions and unsustainable pay. Here's something from Darman on Facebook. Let me see. Maybe he explains it.
And I'm starting the Be Kind to Your Rival challenge, where you have to say something nice about someone who you haven't always seen eye to eye with. And for every person that participates, I'm going to be donating $10 to help kids at St. Jude. So I'm going to choose Mark Wahlberg because, Mark, ever since that day that you invited me to your house to have that crazy leg workout, I was not able to walk for like 2 weeks after that. I had to literally be carried up the stairs. But because I got to say something kind, I will say after that day, it helped me lock in. I've been taking ice baths. I've been in the gym.
You couldn't at least just choose someone that you actually don't like? For your own challenge, you couldn't just choose someone that you actually have a disagreement with? How about the judges who charged you with felonies? Yeah, at the very least, just choose someone you just don't fucking like. That's like the whole point of this, right? Trying to make amends with people from your past that you don't always see eye to eye with. Why are you just choosing your friend who gave you a leg workout? No, Charles, you idiot. He has to humble brag he knows Mark Wahlberg. Ah, you're right. I didn't even stop to think about that. Imagine it was you he picked. That'd go kind of hard, actually. But not me. It'd be Chinese Charles. There's this fucking asshole on Billy that keeps talking all kinds of shit on my productions. Still really trying to find out what his role with the NFL is for kindness officer. This does not feel related to the NFL in any way. Alright everyone, choose someone you don't like and say something nice. And then I'll be donating some money to St. Jude's. I mean, that's great. I mean, just donate 100,000. I think that's great. That's kind. You see, scientists created a universal kidney that can match any blood type. That's nothing. NFL's Chief Kindness Officer Darman created a smile that can match any face. Now, honestly, the duties of this position still elude me. I don't know if he's going to be like fucking Commissioner Gordon here from, the Gotham City, where he's going to be out on the streets doing kind gestures. To me, it seems like this is purely just a PR thing to team up with Darman, who is massive and has a huge audience to like do little Mr. Beast style shorts and handshake with the NFL saying thanks for sponsoring NFL. It doesn't seem like this is a genuine thing to like try and spread positivity or kindness. It seems like it's more just marketing mumbo jumbo here with Darman's face on it. But maybe he is, taking a real role here. And I think if that is the case, I would love to hear from the NFL's chief kindness officer about the latest scandal in the NFL with James Pierce Jr. James Pierce Jr., linebacker for the Falcons, just did something I think, pardon my French, is pretty fucking rude, actually. I think he's a bit of a jerk.
To Falcons. And before that happened, police say Pierce Jr. was at the police station and allegedly involved in a domestic dispute. This video that you see here shows the first round pick of 2025 being brought to the ground by several police officers. Doral Police tonight telling us they first heard reports of Pierce Jr. and his girlfriend, WNBA star Rickea Jackson, having an argument at the police station. Investigators say Pierce left in his car, then crashed near Northwest 103rd Avenue and Northwest 66th Street. Pierce Jr. faces 6 charges tonight, 2 counts of aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, assault on an officer, stalking, fleeing, and misdemeanor resisting arrest.
Not good. The Falcons put out a statement saying, "We are aware of an incident involving James Pierce Jr. in Miami. We are in the process of gathering more information and will not have any further comment on an open legal matter at this time." Now, I would like to hear from Darman here. I think this is not good. What you just saw on the news there with the officers on top of him like they're trying to recover a fumble, that's no Darman skit. This isn't one of those moments where Darman's bestowing some sage wisdom on us like, treat others the way you want to be treated. And I'd like to hear his perspective as someone who is the preeminent expert on kindness. Anyway, though, as of me making this is a pretty brand spanking new, so there's multiple reports, and some of them conflict in certain cases, but from what I've gathered here, it is alleged that James Pierce Jr. crashed his car into his ex Rickea Jackson's vehicle. Then, as officers tried to apprehend him, he led them on a police chase that ended with him crashing his car and also hitting an officer as well, which is then where the video kicks in, where they had all the officers on top of him attempting to arrest him. Not good at all. I imagine this is probably the end of his career as a football player and probably the end of his time as a free man for quite a while. Those are some hefty charges, and from what I've been seeing in the reports here, it seems like he was attempting to seriously harm, maybe even kill Rickea Jackson, ramming his car into hers. That can easily kill people. So, very serious shit, very bad stuff, and kind of just wanted to yap about the Darman Chief Kindness Officer because it's kind of silly, and then as I was doing that, this happened, so just decided to talk about all of it. That's really about it. So, yep. There are some stories that are so powerful they transcend the bounds of time. No matter how many years pass, these stories are still talked about, they're still discussed, and they are still remembered. Like the Epic of Gilgamesh, the Iliad, Journey to the West, my battle against that wasp when playing Elden Ring many moons ago, and now today, the story of 7 dogs that escaped from a meat truck in China and walked 10 miles home to their owners. Actually a crazy story that sounds like it's ripped straight out of a Disney film from the 90s. So the story goes that on March 16th, a man named Lou noticed a group of dogs that were walking in formation along a roadway. He found it peculiar, so he started recording them and even tried to lead them to safety, but the dogs ignored him. This video has now racked up over 200 million views, and apparently these dogs were stolen by thieves working at a dog meat shop, and they busted out of the truck and spent a couple of days walking 10 miles in unison back to their homes. They were led by the corgi, who would occasionally look back to ensure that no one went astray. Lou said, "They resemble a band of little brothers in distress moving in unison, nothing like stray dogs." They did eventually return to their owners after this journey here. Apparently, one of the dogs in this group, a German Shepherd, had an injury. They had unfortunately gotten hurt along the way. So they formed kind of like a protective barrier around the German Shepherd and move together like that. Kind of like out of, fucking 300 or something, where they plant the shields around them up top and in front to block the arrows and everything. It's actually unbelievable, assuming all of this is true, and based on all of the evidence, it does appear to be true. So here's the video that really blew it up. Now, I couldn't find it with original audio. I can only find it with, like, Facebook royalty-free music attached to it, and I decided just to mute it because I don't think it really adds anything to it. But here you can see the group moving out in unison. It does seem like they're trying to, like, shield that German Shepherd in the middle there. And, like, at first I thought it was AI generated. Like, I thought it was just some bogus AI short that they slapped a sob story on. No different than, like, Reddit karma farmers who will just take a picture of their PlayStation 2 and be like, man, I still remember my father before he went off into space and then blew up from a cosmic alien attack, giving me this PlayStation 2, and I know it's a little out of date and old-fashioned, but I can't help but keep playing this in his memory. Can I get some updates in memory of my papa? Like that kind of garbage where it's just a bunch of barnacles. So I thought that this was fake. But the more I looked into it, the more sources that were coming out to confirm that it is legitimate. According to the sources out there, after the dogs rejected Lou's help and he was unsuccessful in trying to, get them to safety, he then shared that video online and urged local authorities to step in and help. It was at that point they got the UAV online here from the local Bitter Coffee Stray Dog base that reported that the dogs come from the same village, typically roaming freely together and having formed strong friendships. In response, the base dispatched several volunteers and even a drone to track the dogs and facilitate their safe return home. So they got the cavalry out there in order to get the dogs back safely from the sound of things. One volunteer claimed that individuals operating a dog meat shop had stolen the dogs, suggesting they may have escaped from a truck, though no witnesses saw their departure. So that component of the story about them escaping from a truck destined for a dog meat facility, which would have obviously spelt their doom, isn't fully confirmed. That hasn't been verified yet, though that seems to be what most sources are indicating is likely what caused them to be so far away, is that they were stolen for that purpose. And I guess it could make sense if they do frequently travel together, as the claim states. If they were all together and then someone just came through and got all of them at once, that would explain how they got the whole kit and caboodle here. But again, it's not fully confirmed or anything like that. But what is true is that this group of 7 dogs was traveling for quite a while, covering miles of distance to get back to their village, to get back home. And they did it all together as like one coordinated troop. It's fucking incredible, actually. Assuming, of course, it is all true, which, again, all the sources I can find seem to agree that it is. One of the owners has apparently come forward talking about the relief. They were the owner of the German Shepherd and the Golden Retriever, stating how happy they are to have them back and fortunate that they were able to return to them. I also saw a couple other images capturing their journey. So yeah, I personally believe that it's real, and man, that shit is crazy. Like, I'm very happy that they made it back safely. As of now, this is all the information that's available. I'm hoping there'll be some additional information and a follow-up investigation trying to find the thieves that were responsible for taking the dogs, and hopefully they'll be brought to justice. It is a crime, what they did. It is 100% a crime, so hopefully they get punished for it. Anyway, even though this is a story about dogs finding their way home, there really is just something inspirational about it to a certain degree, to see this kind of gumption, to see them band together and go over the course of a couple days, many miles home against all the odds and get back safely all together as one unit is really just something super incredible. So yeah, I just wanted to yap about it a bit. That's it. So yeah. I heard a name today that I haven't heard in many moons. Had me feeling like Robin Williams when he crawled out of Jumanji asking what year it is. That name? James Charles.
I just got a DM on here from a girl that said, "Good morning, James. I know you'll probably never see this, but if you could just take 1 minute to read it, would really mean a lot to me. I'm really struggling right now because Spirit Airlines just filed for bankruptcy and I have lost my job. Here's a GoFundMe link. Any donations help. I'm sure they do, sweetheart. I'm sure they do. You know what else would help you? Getting another job.
What a yucky douchebag. This is like cartoon villain level evil monologue here. Oh, no money, huh? No money? Bang! Shrink ray! Now you're short too! Like that kind of thing. It's so over the top, stinking, oozing assholery. I cannot believe his delusional mind thought this was a good idea or like a strong look or a worthwhile dunk to be punching down on someone who's already fallen on hard times after losing their job, and they reached out to you in this desperate situation because clearly they have an appreciation of you. So they threw the Hail Mary, seeing what happens. I doubt they were expecting this kind of response. Now, of course, there is always the chance that it is fraudulent. There are so many fake GoFundMes out there, so there's always a chance that all of it is fucking fiddlesticks. It could all be baloney. I have no way of knowing that. I only have James Charles fucking Gangnam styling on this person and insulting them for it to go on, which leads me to believe that it might be real, because if it was just fake, obviously just a sham, why would he even be bothering to crash out for over 2 minutes about it? So I'm going to work under the assumption that this is a real person that has reached out about it. You could have just not responded. Like, that was also an option. You didn't need to come over here and start, like, spitting and dunking on him. Like, how dare you even message me asking for help? Are you out of your fucking mind? I'm James Charles, goddammit. And is there anything ickier than someone that has a job like James Charles telling someone else to get a job, preaching that they need to get a job? Brother, this former Spirit Airlines worker is a 10 times harder worker and has done 10 times as much labor as you ever have in your life. James Charles' entire career has been just farting out dog shit products and posting cringe videos, and he couldn't even do that without also trying to sext minors. So how dare you try and tell an actual hardworking American to go get a job as if you've done anything worthwhile and you've done like actual work? You got the easiest fucking job in life. You got dealt a very lucky hand, bro. This is so tasteless. It's so crude. Coming from James Charles, of all people. So you've never been in a desperate financial situation. Great. Group hug in the shower tonight, James. Glad you've never gone through a financial struggle. This person is. And they desperately tried to reach out to you, and there's no obligation for you to try and, like, save them or anything. Obviously, there's no expectation of that, but they tried anyway because they're feeling in a rough spot. So they tried, and now you're insulting them and publicly trying to humiliate them for it. It's just so gross, bro.
Yeah, try that. Because in the time that it took you to copy and paste the same fuck-ass message to myself, who you don't follow, by the way, and probably 100 other influencers and celebrities, you could have applied for 100 other jobs, but you didn't because you're a lazy piece of shit and you're entitled. And you think that influencers and celebrities should fund your life for you. Why would I ever help you?
There's no way the word entitled just left his lips. Right? No, I must have misheard that. There's no way he said that. James Charles did. He didn't use that word against somebody else, did he? It had to be an audio glitch. I'm gonna assume that there's no way his vocal folds would even let the word entitled leave his lips. Oh my god, the lack of self-awareness would probably cause his fucking head to combust. So I'm not even gonna bother touching on that one, holy. So let's instead look at the other stuff he said. He really highlighted that this person doesn't follow him. Who gives a fuck? There's plenty of people that I watch their stuff and engage in their content with without subscribing to them or following them on socials. That's pretty normal, actually. I don't know why he's like spiteful about that. So then he's using that to say like, oh, you must have sent this to like 100 other celebrities. Based on what, man? You're just making an assumption. You're just taking a guess. You don't know that. You could be the only person they reached out to about it because they really admired you and thought that maybe you could be that helping hand. Which again, there's no obligation for him to do, but why go this hard against them? This is fucking diabolical. And you have no idea. if they've sent out job applications or not. Why are you speaking as though you're certain they haven't? They very well could have 100 job applications out there right now. The Spirit Airline layoffs are still pretty new. Getting a job right away is not like this, bro. I don't know how out of touch you are with reality and what's going on in the world around you. It doesn't happen lickety-split like that. So in the meantime, they are out income. And I imagine as a Spirit Airlines employee, they weren't rolling in dough, able to afford fucking mansions and stuff. They're probably wondering where next month's rent is going to come from in the meantime in between jobs. So they reached out to you in the interim. That would be my guess. You have no clue if they've sent out job applications. It takes a while.
You're not a fan. You don't even follow me. You've never supported me. This is your first time DMing. And you think that I'm going to send you money because you lost your job? Oh my God. Welcome to the real world, sweetheart. People lose their jobs every fucking day, and you're white, pretty, and able-bodied. You're in a much better position than a lot of other people out here who are trying clearly much harder to make a better life for themselves. Why would I fucking help you?
What is Dr. Doofenshmirtz even crashing out about at this point? He's having a conniption, blowing a gasket. Over what? What are you even yapping about? You're not even making a point anymore. You're trying to tell someone else how the real world functions when you yourself haven't been a member of the real world in like a fucking decade. You are so detached from the real world, yet you're over here lecturing them about it? It's absurd, bro. You couldn't write someone this out of touch and this unlikable. He's like the Starbucks CEO about the $9 coffee and the premium experience, but wrapped up in like an insufferable asshole influencer.
Aside from that, 17,000 people lost their jobs at Spirit Airlines. Why do you think you need the GoFundMe? I can at least like 1% respect the mentality of closed mouths don't get fed, doesn't hurt to try. But honestly, it does hurt to try because now you pissed me off. Okay, I'm not the one. Go find fucking Mr. Reese. This is literally his entire shtick. I'm sure the next YouTube video is literally going to be like, I rehired all 17,000 of the Spirit Airlines employees, and it's going to be the real life Hunger Games. The last one of them to leave the Spirit Airlines plane gets to be the CEO of the new company and gets a house and a car and $10 million that everybody else dies.
Stop trying to make jokes. Like, actually, just please stop trying to make jokes, James. Put the kibosh on it right now. It's miserable listening to him try and inject humor into anything. Why did it piss you off? How does that piss you off? Yeah, 17,000 people lost their jobs here, man. That's 17,000 people that are now out income. I imagine a lot of them are feeling very similar ways to the person that reached out to you. This person just decided to try. They decided to throw a Hail Mary. Again, you could have just ignored it. Why did it piss you off? That's a fucking you problem, man. That is a weird response to it.
Like, go find that video to compete in, baby. I'm not helping you. I'm not fucking helping you. All you did was lost your job, okay? Welcome to the real world. I can at least understand if you were like, James, I'm a longtime fan. Here's a trillion years of DMs and my support for you. I love you. I'm suffering with a really rare genetic disease that there is no cure for, and I'm trying to raise money for myself and other people that have this. Maybe I would help. Maybe I would help because I love you and I appreciate you. This bitch, you lost your fucking job? What are we gonna do? Nothing! I'm gonna do nothing. You know what you need to do? Go find a fucking new one, girl. Put some effort into the workplace.
Hey, pal. You just blow in from Stupid Town? He really thought he cooked with this rant. So the impression here is that the only people in the world he cares about are people that, like, mindlessly support him through thick and thin forever. Here's a trillion DMs. Okay, now I care about you. So maybe if you had, like, a genetic disease where you were dying and you were about to just kick the bucket, I might consider spitting on you if you were on fire. I might, because you've proven that you're a fan. And those are the only people I care about. Those are the only human beings to me, are the fans. Then I would have cared. By the way, worth reminding you, there's nothing that says that she wasn't a fan, by the way, James, just because she didn't follow you or DM you before. What an awful perspective to have on people, huh? Again, you could have just not said anything about it, but you decided to make a whole show. You decided to go fucking hog wild on it. And man, do you look like a clown talking about hard work in the real world, two things that you are not someone to be lecturing anyone on. You don't work hard, and you are not in the real world. And that's one of, like, the biggest things, like, points he tries to make here. Get real. This person is just in a desperate spot, as a lot of people are and have been. And in those positions, sometimes people try a Hail Mary. That's what they did here. It clearly didn't resonate with you in any way, and for some reason really brought the demon out of you, James, for some reason. But I don't think they did anything wrong. Again, you could have just not said anything about it. And you have no idea if they are applying for jobs. It rarely happens overnight, especially currently. So in the meantime, having no income is scary and detrimental to actual working people, James. Most average workers can't just coast off of poop they shat out years ago like you can, just collecting paychecks off of the trash that you've peddled over the years passively. So, in the meantime, they made this GoFundMe, they reached out to you, and then you had this ballistic response to it. And James did get dunked on for it, so he made an apology video.
This video was fucking stupid. It was rude, it was obnoxious, it was privileged, and most importantly, it was completely fucking unnecessary. When I saw that DM, I absolutely had the choice to ignore it and say absolutely nothing at all and move on with my day. But instead, I couldn't even tell you why. Her message just triggered me, and I decided instead to make a video about it.
Put a shirt on. You don't need to get into formal attire, not asking you to put a suit and tie on, but could you do the bare minimum of at least putting on clothes? Why are you filming this video half awake in your hotel bed after a night of binge drinking and meth smoking? Like, you couldn't just do at least a tad bit more? Why do I have to watch you shirtless here, fucking like sleepwalk through your response?
And I bashed her, and it was obnoxious, and I shamed her for asking for help in a situation where she was clearly really struggling, and this could have been her absolute last resort. I have no idea what was going on in her life, and I should have never assumed that she was just copying and pasting this DM as an easy way out. I don't know. I just don't know.
Ooh, I know. Pick me. I've got my hand raised. I know. It's because you are an egomaniac. It's because you are a self-centered, self-absorbed, narcissistic piece of shit, bro. That's why you did it. You thought that you were above this person, and you thought you could actually convince your audience that what they are doing is wrong and worthy of being shamed, and you tried to even spin it in a way like hard work, when you yourself are not the product of hard work. So you tried to puff out your chest about how much it takes to get back out there with the elbow grease, pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, but the message falls flat because you, the messenger, are not that person. And you're also choosing someone who is going through a very real grievance, again, assuming all of this is a legitimate story and a legitimate person, which I have no reason to believe it's not, based on everything he's said. So, really, it was all a pile of dog shit, and you let your mask slip so people get to see even more about the real you, James. This is the real you.
My intention behind making this video in the first place was I get a lot of messages like this every single day. And for me personally, it definitely sucks to receive messages from people that don't follow you and don't support you, treating you like our personal ATM or bank account. But what I'm sure sucks even fucking more is not knowing where your next paycheck is coming from and not being sure whether or not you're going to be able to put food on the table for yourself and your family. So it really doesn't matter what my intentions were behind making the video, because it came across as super fucking privileged and like I was basically shaming anybody that's unemployed for not trying hard enough to get a job. And I feel awful because that wasn't my intention, and it really hurt a lot of people.
This is coming across very genuine here, James, as he's falling into slumber here. It feels like I'm watching a video of someone ODing. Why did you even film it like this, man? And also, I don't understand why it even upset him in the first place, and why he says it sucks that people, treat me like an ATM. I get these random messages from people that obviously don't know anything about me and are just trying to hose me for cash. Like, yeah, that happens. That's annoying if you see it, but I guarantee most of the messages go to his management. I guarantee James doesn't see the vast majority of those, fake, reaching out for money type things. It's not like a telemarketer call. Telemarketers get a direct line to you, they call you, then they treat you like a little piggy bank for their trash product, and you know what happens there? You hang up. Here, these messages go into the fucking void. You'd have to go out of your way to find these spam, scam, fraudulent things. I don't understand why he's making it seem like, oh, it's so hard being me, James Charles, where people reach out and they don't even care because they're asking me for money. Again, I don't think you see most of them, and the ones you do see, just ignore. It takes actual split seconds. If he was making a point friends and family are always reaching out to me just for cash, they treat me like I'm not even a human anymore, I'm just a cash ATM for them, then I'd get it, because yeah, that sucks, that's horrible. That's not what he's saying. It's so weird, like his view on it. At least to me, I think it's weird. I'll sum up the next section where he tries to like relate to the average worker, saying that he knows how hard it is in today's job market. I know people looking for a job, and it sucks, you know, getting ghosted and stuff like that. So now he's saying like, oh, I get it. It's super. I relate. That's now his big thing that he's saying in this section. And then he goes on to talk about how he recognizes that he got really lucky with his makeup tutorials, so now he's got the position he's in, and now in his position he needs to learn how to humble himself.
And for anybody that saw that video and was disappointed or upset with what I said, I am super sorry, especially to the woman from Spirit Airlines. I did try to look for her message earlier before making this video, and I couldn't find it. If you see this video and you want to get in touch, I would love to apologize to you directly and to help you out a little bit. But if you are not comfortable with that, I totally understand too. I really appreciate anybody that sent me a message or left a comment about this video today, letting me know how insensitive it was. I really needed to hear that.
I was giggling so hard. He's going on like, okay, I really want to help now. I tried to find her message, but I fucking banished to the Shadow Realm somewhere along the way. I really want to help. I've learned my lesson. And then there's a cut, and then he's got the blanket pulled over him. He's tucking himself into bed. Why? It's so fake. It's so unbelievably fake.
And I really need to think twice before I hit record and just start yapping on this account. I genuinely treat this spam page like I'm on FaceTime with you guys. I love to laugh and tell you stories and rant and scream at the camera and joke around with y'all, but sometimes I genuinely forget how many people are watching, and it was completely inappropriate to make a joke out of somebody just trying to provide for themselves and their family. That's definitely my bad.
What joke did you make, man? It was just insulting them. It was just berating them for having the gall to try and reach out to you in any capacity during a hard time. Where was the haha? I don't know why he's saying it like that. Like, I just, I love to rant, I love to yap, I love to laugh, I love to joke, and, well, I just forgot that so many people like me and watch me, and this one came across bad. I shouldn't have been joking about this one. But you weren't joking, you were just insulting this person. What are you talking about? And it wouldn't have changed even if you had, like, a fraction of the people watching. You'd still be an asshole. Yeah, it'd still be fucking weird to have that response to it. So yeah, that's the James Charles stuff going on in a nutshell. I haven't heard that name in a long time, and it popped up today, and I had to watch that. What a wacky fucking rant. Anyway, that's really about it. So yeah, I got no silly intro for you today. What this lady's done just makes me furious, so I want to yap about it. Krishan Rock. Maybe you've heard her name, maybe you haven't. I'm pretty confident you've at least seen a couple of clips of hers because she has been addicted to social media attention for a while. So she constantly pops up on popular streamers' streams to try and leech a little bit of clout for herself. Personally, I've always found her to be like a vibe Dementor on stream where she just sucks out all the fun and all the life, leaving only misery in its wake. But that's not the biggest deal in the world. There's plenty of people that are, vibe terrorists that just aren't super entertaining to watch. That's not like a crime. But what is a crime, at least should be, is the way that she handled her pregnancy. Krishan Rock loved to party. I say loved like it's past tense. I'm sure she still currently does. But while she was pregnant, she still didn't let that stop her. It wasn't an obstacle. She didn't pump the brakes because she's pregnant. She still went hog wild partying, drinking and smoking while pregnant. And this was shown multiple times on camera, just shamelessly drinking and smoking while pregnant, which everybody knows is really bad for the baby.
Because we all was drinking, even you, with the baby and stuff. Why are you lying?
Really been flew out in real life though. Ladies, one more time.
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at?
Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just gonna get no liquor.
Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
No,
He shut the door
you
because
can't
it's
have
cold.
no fucking
Tessa.
liquor.
When they were here last time, him and Krishan was pregnant. Y'all were doing all that smoking and drinking here in the thing.
This is just one short compilation, but a lot of these clips go on longer of her drinking even more. And this is only what's been caught on camera. I can only imagine how often off camera she was also smoking and drinking. It's fucking terrible. And it's not like she didn't know. She even had that clip in there where she's like, it's alright, I can just abort the child, not gonna hurt me. Fucking evil mindset. Like, what? She couldn't stop herself from smoking and drinking while pregnant. She did have the child, and this September he will be 3 years old. He still cannot walk or talk, and it seems like also has a hard time just sitting up on his own without assistance supporting him. It is heartbreaking. It is actually heartbreaking. And I don't know why what she's done isn't just full-blown child abuse. Like, I don't know how that's not just a crime. Like, it's all just right out there in the open. Like, it's not a secret. People extremely close to her have just point-blank said that she has smoked and drank throughout her pregnancy. They've said it a couple of times. It's just so fucking unhinged. And now, she just did an interview, and it's the reason why I'm even yapping about it outside of just streams where I've talked about it loosely. She did an interview where she's now denying that her child has a disability and says that, you know, the doctors are wrong, the doctors don't know, which to me says that she's not even willing to get this child the assistance that he is likely going to need going forward.
And if it's anything I could do, help, I'm here. The part that really messed with me is that Blueface doesn't seem active in the child's life because of his disability. Hold on. I feel like that's what triggered me, and my anger overpowered my message. You're in the right now, and I'm here to support and congratulate you overly. So I said my son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... But it's like, don't tell me. I ain't say none of that.
For context here, she was reading some messages about someone who they had some drama, and this individual said that, you know, the thing that messed them up most was, you know, Blueface not being as active in the child's life because of the child's disability. That was the claim that was made there. She then snapped back saying that her son does not have a disability. He's developing at his own pace. Then, in a minute here, I'll show you the clip where she starts making a mention of, like, doctors, like how you can't believe a doctor when they're speaking ill on your child, that kind of thing. Now, of course, I'm not a doctor, but for reference, most babies will begin the walking and talking process, getting, like, a word out from, like, 12 up to, like, 18 months. That's when they'll start to hit these milestones. Typically, that's like the normal range. She is right though, every child is different, so some take a little bit longer. However, it has been over 2 years. It's been, 27 months, and her son still is doing none of that, and also seemingly still having a hard time sitting up on their own too. That does seem like there may be a disability there, and the fact that she references a doctor speaking ill on her child makes me believe that when a doctor was informing her that this might be the result of a disability, she took it as an insult, and that this doctor is just some kind of evil demon that's insulting her baby, and now she's like refusing to acknowledge it, which I think is just extremely detrimental for the child, because if the child does have a disability, the child is going to need some extra assistance from doctors, from other people. And if she's going to deny the child those resources, that's even worse for the kid. Just because she refuses to say it doesn't mean that it might not be true.
It's not even just that. It's like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Yeah. Anybody. If they're guessing or whatever, no. The word said what the word said. God said what the God says. I don't have to accept what you... So it's really like me, like... protecting a revelation that I heard from the Lord over my son. Yeah. And then it's like redirecting that energy back to that mouth, that tongue, that powerful tongue. Who said I had it? Who said it?
Now, recently, Krishan Rock made a big Christianity push where she's accepting the word of God and taking the Lord as her savior, which I always applaud people for doing if it's coming from a genuine place. Unfortunately, in the modern day, there are some absolute vile people that use Christianity as like this get out of jail card where it's, used as a tool to avoid any level of accountability and responsibility. Like, nope, I'm completely clean, so all of the terrible, heinous actions I've done in my past no longer exist, and you can't use them against me in any way, shape, or form because now I'm a Christian, so, we have to forget about all of that, and you're a bad person if you bring them up now. And I really hate that mentality. And I hate to say it, but I do get that same sense from Krishan Rock, where she's using it as a way of just being like, hey, you all have to forgive me for all of this shit that I've done. And a lot of it you've watched, especially like with the pregnancy. And I don't think I've seen her take any level of like self-reflection or accountability for the terrible fucking way that she handled her pregnancy with the smoking and drinking and the impact that it may have had on her child's life. Like, speaking of the word of God, Krishan, what do you think God would say to something like this?
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at?
Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just gonna get on liquor.
Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
No,
you shut the door because it's cold.
Complete callousness, uncaring if the baby lives or dies, even saying that she would get an abortion and it wouldn't affect her. There's also another clip where she's 20 weeks pregnant, talking to a doctor and asks if it's too late to get an abortion. It seems like she's solely driven by her own self-interest. She didn't want to stop partying and drinking and smoking, and so she didn't, even while pregnant. And unless I've missed it, she's never talked about this, or made any kind of big, like, huge apology about the error and misdeeds of how she handled her pregnancy or anything. And also, I think she's still the exact same Krishan Rock now as she always has been. Throughout this entire podcast, she goes on and on and on, just regurgitating this notion that she is done with drama. Drama is in her past, now it's all about her future. However, she spends the whole podcast reading drama text messages and talking over the hosts in order to keep playing around in the drama cesspool, like the entire time, except now she's using Christianity as her shield, as a way of winning these arguments in the drama. Like, well, this is what this guy said, but the Word of God says this, so he's definitely wrong for it, and what he said about me is unacceptable because now, fully Christian, all of that. She is still 100% participating in drama this entire podcast episode while pretending that she's not, and that she's left all of that behind and has changed.
But you let God vindicate on your behalf.
Well, like you said,
it's going to be a day where... Like, I can't wait when my son start walking and talking. I'm going to just be like, exactly.
Like I told y'all.
I told y'all. He told y'all. Shoot, I was just relaying the message. It's like one of those.
I truly hope her son does start walking and talking soon. I'm really wishing the absolute best for that kid, but I do not think that this is a mother fit to raise a child, especially based on her statements in this interview here, where it seems like she's no longer even going to listen to doctors in regards to the potential disability that her child may have. Like, that just sets this kid up for a really rough future. I'm really, really hoping this child gets the care that he needs. I am not convinced that Krishan Rock is a good mother to this child at all. It still, to me, feels as though she's solely interested in her own career as opposed to trying to help her son to the best of her abilities. And it seems like she's already toying with the idea of depriving him of this medical care that he may require in the future. That's the impression I get from this interview. I really do not like this lady at all. I just don't. I hate what she did during pregnancy, knowing full well how horrible that is to the development of a child. It's not like she was, oblivious to that fact. She wanted to keep drinking and smoking, and in order to do that, she even said, look, I'll just get an abortion. It won't affect me at all, and I'll just keep drinking and smoking. She didn't get the abortion, but she just kept drinking and smoking. And now her child is developing at an abnormal pace and is seemingly unwilling to listen to doctors about it. And I really, really, really think that what she did during pregnancy is just pretty unforgivable, to be honest. And so I wanted to yap about it. That's really about it. So yeah. You know something? I was thinking, having thoughts, as many do. And it occurred to me that it's been a long time since I've given like a video game review. I'm still reviewing movies out the wazoo. I'm seeing trash that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy, like The Strangers Chapter 3. But when it comes to new video game reviews, I've abandoned it. It's like I went to the store to get cigarettes and never came home. And that's mainly because with the gaming channel now, my thoughts on games kind of live there, but I haven't done like a full review on a game in a while. And I wanted to change that. A new game just came out and I recently finished it after about 28 hours. And that is 28 hours well spent. That is like 28 hours of euphoria right there. I'm talking 28 hours of soft, warm ball fondling is how this game made me feel. Nioh 3. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Nioh franchise. I've sung its praises for years. I have always glazed it. And even recently on the gaming channel, I uploaded a full Nioh 1 and 2 playthrough. A cumulative 30 hours worth of content I dropped, played all off stream, just to get excited again and get ready for Nioh 3. And I am happy to say Nioh 3 did not disappoint. I also just uploaded a 24-hour long video for my Nioh 3 playthrough. And I plan on doing more playthroughs because the game is just that good. Now, first things first, Nioh 3 is a Souls-like, and I know for a lot of people that's starting to carry a negative connotation now due to saturation. We're seeing tons of low-effort Souls-likes getting farted out every single day on Steam. Just throwaway asset-flipped garbage like my substitute English professor found a Shingon Wu and killed the Demon Lord. And like everything is integrating Souls-like elements into games now, so a lot of people are getting a bit tired of it. Myself included. There are a lot of lazy Souls-likes that I've played over the last year or so, but Nioh 3 is not. This is one of the best Souls-like games you can find. This franchise is among the best the genre has to offer. And Nioh 3, I think, is probably the most mechanically deep of the franchise so far. It has so many systems. And for some people, maybe that's a bit overwhelming. But I think it's just glorious. Playing Nioh into Nioh 2 and then immediately into Nioh 3, I'm loving the direction they took it. I think it was a great evolution. Of course, it's not without some problems, most notably performance. I think that is by far the biggest blemish Nioh 3 has at the moment. Throughout my 28 hours, I did have some stuttering, some popping in, and just some general performance issues and some bugs throughout the playthrough, but nothing that I thought was like, game ruining or anything. On console, I've heard it's a bit worse, but I played on PC, and I did still have performance issues, so that is definitely an issue. But for me, it didn't ruin the game. And there are a couple of other things that I think were a bit weaker than previous Nioh entries, but I'll get to them in a moment. I want to talk about some of the big changes. The biggest change, obviously, being the open world, or more accurate to say, pseudo-open world. You explore regions through eras. And traveling through eras, you get an open world experience where you can freely travel around, fight some formidable foes out there in the world, bosses, or do side quests, get more lore, collect kodamas, which give you blessings, which can increase your stats or increase the efficacy of the elixirs. You can find other certain things like skills out in the world, which is a really cool idea where basically through exploration, you get stat bonuses, you find things that'll help make you stronger, or you find things that'll help with your drop rates. You fight bosses that'll sometimes drop some really interesting gear. There's Jijiko out there that you can snipe, and if you do, you pet a little animal and he'll give you another unique skill. There is just so much in the pseudo-open world. It feels very alive. Like, it doesn't feel like a chore to explore it, and it's not so big that you're just going through, like, fucking 10 minutes of just idly running, doing nothing. There is always enemies to fight, things to find. So it was never boring traversing the pseudo-open world. And notably, I am someone that has often said that this insistence for every game to have an open world is just an excuse to like pad out game time and just kind of lazily have players just traveling around doing chores. In like, the classic Ubisoft open world formula, that kind of eye-rolling garbage. Nioh 3, I never got that feeling. Even though there is like enemy base capture that you can do, it's not like the bulk of the open world experience. There's like a few bases you can capture if you want to, and you get like good loot for it, of course. But there's just so much to do in the open world, and so much to find and so many ways of using the open world to cater to your build. And there are endless builds that are viable and fun. I'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, the biggest change probably to the Neo formula is this open world approach now, and I think they did a good job with it. Previously in Neo 1 and 2 it was mission based, so this is a big deal. They do still have missions here. You can do them through battle scrolls, so you can do like specific missions, so it's not like completely done away with, but the bulk of it's going to be through these open world experiences through the eras. And for me, I thought it was good. Now, I briefly touched on builds. Let's talk about that, because I think that's where most players are going to be very, very, very pleased. If you've never played a Neo game and you're thinking about giving Neo 3 a shot, I think you're really in for a fucking treat if you're someone that enjoys min-maxing and getting like extremely wacky and silly with build ideas, because this game has so much depth. I could gush and grannies for hours about how much you can do here to cater a playstyle to whatever you think is fun. So like for me, I changed it a few times. What I ended up on, my final build, was mainly through Tonfas, mainly on ninja stance. So another big change here is there's two stances. You have Samurai and Ninja, and they play very differently. Samurai is the traditional Neo gameplay where you have low, medium, high stance, and you now have like some deflect options, and you have like martial arts that you can use, and you can make a build around martial arts. Like for me, for a while I was using an Odachi and mainly doing ground sweeper, and I built around beefing up my martial arts, and I used set bonuses from the Crimson General set. Like, there is just, the point I'm making, I'm getting immediately into the nitty gritty here. You can do so much with your builds in this game, because you have two stances to play around with and you seamlessly transition between them. Mid-combo, you can go from Samurai to Ninja, mid-combo, and just start schmooving and slapping around on the bad guys. It's fucking amazing. And on Ninja stance, it plays completely different from Samurai. So you're attacking faster, using less ki, and now instead of like deflecting, you're mainly looking to be dodging, using Mist. So they introduced something called Mist, where in the middle of a combo or at the end of a combo, you will mist, which will then make a little decoy as you dodge away from the enemy, and then you can continue your combo. And on Ninja Stance, there's a lot of weapons and a lot of builds that revolve around aerial combat, like getting enemies in the air or attacking from the air. It's so fucking good. Like, there are so many things you can do for builds in this game, and of course, just like in Neo 1 and 2, the enemies are squirting loot. This game pisses out loot. And even the loot that isn't catered to your build, you go, you dismantle it, you soul extract it, you get materials for it, so then you can craft gear. You can fine-tune gear that you craft to fit your build, giving you the bonuses you're looking for, or whatever element you're looking for on it. There's just so much depth. I could go on and on for so long about how deep these mechanics and systems are, so I was very pleased with just how much meat there is on the bones here. But there is one area, one very notable area here that they definitely fumbled on, just full stop, no way of sugarcoating, fumbled on. Soul Cores. Soul Cores were introduced in Neo 2, and they were hype as fuck in Neo 2. Soul Cores are dropped by enemies, and you put them into your character, and in Neo 2 they function where when you do the command to use the Soul Core, you become that defeated enemy, and they do an attack. So they're used to help you in a fight, and they'll help, like, break an enemy or whatever you're using for utility or damage, whatever, depending on the Soul Core, of course. In Neo 3, the Soul Cores don't function that way at all. It's completely different. They did an overhaul, and boy howdy did they fucking fall flat on their face. I think this was a full-blown miss. So now when you use a Soul Core in Neo 3, you don't turn into that enemy or anything. Now your Soul Cores have slots where it's a yin and the yang position. And if you put a Soul Core in the first position, it gives you some bonuses. So you can, of course, cater it to your build. Depending on what you want, you'll put a Soul Core that has corresponding bonuses. And when it's in that position, you can summon that enemy. So what you do is you fucking hold out your hand and, I summon this yokai. And then he goes out there and he does his move. And it's underwhelming. Like, I don't love that. I liked when you turned into it and unleashed the move yourself. It was pretty cool. And you could use it mid-combo. Whereas here, you have to stop everything, halt what you're doing in order to say, Pikachu, I choose you! And get him out of your Pokeball. And if you put a Soul Core in the other position, you then get like a talisman. This is where you get your classic Neo talismans like Carnage, Sloth, Weakness, that kind of thing, as well as, of course, a bunch of new things like Water Familiar, Talisman, stuff like that. It comes from these soul cores. They give you those when you put them in the other position. And I just find this to be a huge downgrade. I thought the way soul cores functioned in Neo 2 was fantastic. And I would have liked to see them flesh out that idea more, of integrating them into the fight itself, as opposed to then just kind of sidelining it to be like, here's a summon that you can use if you're doing nothing else. And also, this is where you're going to get like your talismans from. Like, I can kind of see what the goal was, like the idea. I just don't think it's as good as it was in Neo 2. Like, I don't think it needed that kind of change. Like, I just don't think they nailed it when it came to soul cores. But most other things I do think are extraordinary. Like, I really do think they've done a great job on the whole. There's just a few hiccups like that. It is so fucking addicting to just be tinkering around with build ideas, noodling on certain things, and just trying to come up and cook up the optimal build for your playstyle. And what's extremely nice, a big quality of life change here, respecking is free. At any time you can change your stat distribution, you can change your skills where you put those and just redo it. So if you commit to a build and you're not really loving it, just fucking respec. It's free, it's instant, it's not a headache or anything, so you can constantly be experimenting. It seems like the focus on Neo 3 was go wild, create crazy builds, fucking break the game, just have a hoot and a holler, and I really appreciate that. But a consequence of that, consequence is a word I'm using very loosey-goosey, is the game is easier. So Neo 1 and 2 built up a reputation of being punishing, brutal, like a cheek-clapping experience that a lot of people maybe just set the controller down and never revisited. Neo 1 and 2 for a lot of players was extremely challenging to the point of being unfun. Neo 3 is definitely easier, which I'm not the biggest fan of because I always enjoy the challenge of Souls-like games. But I wouldn't say Neo 3 is like, a fucking cakewalk. I didn't steamroll through everything. In fact, there was a boss that took me like 20-something tries to beat. So like there are tough fights in here, but compared to Neo 1 and 2, it is easier, and that's something hardcore Neo fans have been very vocal about, being disappointed that it seems to be more catered towards casuals in regards to its difficulty. But I would argue that it's not to the detriment of the game. I feel like the reason why Neo 3 is easier than Neo 1 and 2 is because you get stronger earlier. In Neo 1 and 2, you start fucking pitiful. You start coughing baby. Whereas in Neo 3, you start hydrogen bomb. Like, you are already strong from the jump. Which I think is fun. I think that's exciting. It doesn't bother me that much. And I also think because there is so much versatility of these builds and so many ways of weaving these stances together with combos and martial arts, you just have so many more tools to be strong that you can just break enemies. You can just fucking slap enemies around. So I don't think it being easier is like the worst thing in the world, but it is something that I wanted to mention for sure. And also, a criticism that's existed of Neo since the first game is enemy variety. That doesn't change in Neo 3. The enemy variety's lackluster. You're going to be seeing the same enemies over and over and over and over again. Like, you're going to get more familiar with the enemies in this game than you are your own fucking parents. You see them all the time, and there's not a huge cast of them. So, enemy variety, definitely lacking. Do I think it's the biggest deal in the world? No, but I mean, come on. For 2 games, people have been talking about enemy variety, and now you have, a pseudo-open world. This would be a great opportunity to, silence that criticism by just introducing more enemies, which obviously easier said than done, but it is, once again, something that is lacking here. But anyway, I think the game is a must-play for anyone who likes action games. Just, in general, action games. I said the same thing for Neo 1 and 2, and I'm saying it again for Neo 3. I think this is truly a must-play action game. I don't have a whole lot to say about the story. I'm not going to dive deep into the story because it's not the best story, but it's a fun story. Like, it's a story where you're going through the ages here, beating yokai to death, and you're getting, bits and pieces of actual history mixed with myth It's enjoyable, albeit at times completely nonsensical. So what? I don't think that's a big deal. It's fun, and it's always compelling. And the boss fights, very fun. I think there was a couple weak bosses that, weren't the most fun to fight, like they were kind of boring. But on the whole, I think they fucking crushed it on most bosses. And you get to see some familiar faces come back from bosses if you're doing some of the side quests, which was nice. That was cool to see them make a return. I think the bosses are going to shine. I think people are going to really enjoy most of the boss fights. And I just think most people will really like this game. I think Neo 3 is fantastic. I've absolutely loved my time with it. 28 hours well spent, and I'm excited to do more playthroughs. So anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.